Hello. I'm back. I survived last night. If you saw me. Hello. How's everybody doing? I'm getting all my stuff set up. So if you haven't yet, please hit the like button for me. I would greatly appreciate a big thumbs up. And so just wait a few more minutes. I got a couple things I'm trying to clean up my area, because between nails and true crime, everything has just gone crazy in here. So let's see. So first thing that I wanted to go over is this. I saw this earlier today, but I did check it out. So this is Scottsdale, Arizona, March 28th. This is by the Scottsdale Police Department. A death investigation is underway after an adult woman's body was recovered from a canal near Indian Bend and Hayden Roads on March 28th. Police and fire personnel were first called to the area around 8 a.m. after someone walking along the canal saw the body in the water. Responding police and fire personnel coordinated with SRP and CAP to recover the body from the water and begin the death investigation. Scottsdale detectives and crime scene specialists responded to the scene to collect evidence and thoroughly document the scene. Due to the condition of the body, investigators are initially unable to confirm if there are traumatic injuries present. The investigation is still in the early stages as detectives work to confirm the identity of the person and how they ended up in the canal. The Maricopa County Medical Examiner will ultimately determine the cause of death. And the Scottsdale Police Report number for this case is 260-6480. So, that's interesting. And I went and I looked. I'll share this. So I Googled to see how far Scottsdale was from Tucson, and it's about 116 miles. It says it usually takes about an hour and 45 minutes by car. The most common route is I-10 east. And hasn't I-10 been mentioned? I thought that's been mentioned in some of when people are trying to kind of map out possible routes, things like that. Traffic conditions can affect travel time, of course. There are scenic stops along the way, such as Casa Grande. Public transportation options include buses. We don't need to know that because we're not trying to go there. But I've been reading, some people are thinking that is a possibility. That whoever took her maybe went out and dumped her somewhere far away. So that is the newest news that I've seen as of today. Still no word. They're still investigating it, so it's going to be another waiting game. I've got let me see. Where is she? This is Megan Kelly. She is, this one is the new questions about timeline of Nancy Guthrie disappearance based on Savannah Guthrie's comments. And one of the things that we heard was that there was doors propped open at Nancy's house. And Ashley Banfield let it go that there was also blood inside the house. Where the blood was inside the house in front of the front door. Hello, hello. Hi, guys. Hi, April. Hi, Amsterdam. Welcome, welcome. So I'm going to play this, and I wanted to see this, so you guys are going to watch along with me. And, you know, if you're not new here, I have to do the stoppy, pausey thing and talk about it. So fair use, don't want to get in trouble, but I do want to go over this because I want to hear what she has to say. And it's got my favorite FBI agent in it.
There have been a lot of good questions asked about Savannah's interview yesterday. Many by just armchair detectives or, regular civilians, Maureen, who have been covering this case. And I saw one woman on my X feed today asking a really good question about this soundbite. Let me play it and then we'll talk about it. This is Savannah talking about.
And I never thought in a million years I'd have a favorite FBI agent, but that lady right there is my favorite.
The moments she found out from Annie that Nancy was missing.
And my sister called me and I said, "Is everything okay?" Mm-hmm. And she said, "No." She said, "Mom's missing." And I said, "What? Yeah. What are you talking about?" She said, "She's gone." And
some people are kind of having trouble with this interview a little bit. Every time I've heard her speak, it feels a little weird to me. So, and I'm not saying she has anything to do with it. I just get a weird vibe from her, and I don't know what it is, but I do.
She was in a panic. I was in a panic. I'm like, "Call 911. Yeah. She's like, "I did. We called them. They're here."
I'm sorry, we're laughing at this. I was laughing at April for coming over to Vertical. Yeah. Some people like the Vertical. So I figure I offer both. It's kind of like Burger King, have it your way. So welcome, Cindy. I'm glad to see you here. Thank you. And again, if more people are coming in, hit the thumbs up for me if you would, please. I would greatly appreciate it.
We thought that she must have had like some kind of medical episode in the night, and that somehow, the paramedics had come because the back doors were propped open, and that didn't make any sense. We thought maybe they came and there was a stretcher and they...
Oh, so just the back doors. See, I thought it was both doors.
Took her out the back, but her phone was there and her purse was there and all her things. Yeah. And it just didn't make any sense. So, Annie and Tommy had already called all the hospitals, but then I'm like, I'm going to call the hospital. So then I started calling the hospitals, and the police were there and talking to her at the same time. And it was just chaos and disbelief.
Verticals always bring more. Verticals always have more people in there. I think because people are just like, scrolling through. Oh, I forgot to. I was going to turn this on so you guys all see that I'm still alive from last night. I'm okay. I got myself a little bit together.
Okay, in the longer version of the clip, Savannah sets up that story by saying her husband had been away on a guy's weekend that weekend, and he had just come home, and that she had been at Carson Daly's house with her kids all day, and she had just gotten home, and that they were getting ready. It was the evening, and then the sister called. Well, we know from the authorities that 911 was called just after noon that morning. Right, Nancy, they revised the timeline, but they said at 11:57, they realized Nancy wasn't there. They called 911.
Yeah, originally did the sheriff say like 10 a.m. and then they dialed it down to 11:57.
And that 911 got there, the authorities got there just after noon. So that would have been just after 3 p.m. East Coast time. So hours went by from the sound of it before Annie Guthrie called Savannah. And I would give this woman online credit, but I didn't actually see her name. But she was saying, you only have one other sister. And she's got, Annie Guthrie has a brother, Cameron, and she's got a sister, Savannah. And the sister happens to have major resources.
And we know she called, Mark Kelly, and she called her brother. So yeah, you would think that you would be talking to the person that's at ground zero.
The point is, you know your mother's potentially missing. You've now been to the house. There's blood. There's blood throughout the house. The door's propped open.
Me too, Cindy.
Nancy's missing. The Ring camera's it's gone. The Nest camera's gone. You wait hours, 2 or 3 hours to call your sister to say, like, have you heard from mom? And by the way, you do all the hospital calls too before you loop in the sister?
When you were already told that the sister that you made a statement about, that you can trust, you trust her and Tommaso taking great care of your mother, but you don't trust that she called the hospitals correctly, so then you call them again. Yeah. There's just so much that is beyond the sheriff fumbling this, but just, I don't know.
Like, I could see if your sister's missing, you do all that legwork yourself before you loop in your mom, whom you don't want to panic. But your sister is your sister in arms, like your siblings. They're in it with you as a sibling. You're like, this is our mom. Like, it's all hands on deck. And also,
exactly,
wouldn't you have just called her to say, have you heard from her? Like, it is very strange, the more I think about it, that Annie Guthrie did not call Savannah Guthrie for hours, apparently, and after she knew that something had gone very, very wrong with the mother.
See, so that still dials me back to, and I'm not trying to speak bad about victims, but was she really getting the best care from Annie that she should? Or was it suspected that she maybe wasn't quite getting, watched enough, taken care of enough? I mean, there's just something that bugs me there with the whole family angle, and they just acted weird from day one.
She was probably just, she's going to say, Annie's going to say that she was trying to figure it out and that she and Tommaso were. But to your point, I would absolutely, one of my first phone calls would be like to one of my sisters, hey, get on the phone and call these 3 hospitals. I'll have Eileen call the other 3 hospitals, and, or divvy up these nearby hospitals between the 2 of you. I'm here. I'm doing a ground search. I'm trying to find mom in the house. I have no idea why the door is propped open. There's blood in the front entryway.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you just call and be like, have you heard from her? Did she try to call you or text you last night or today? Or I don't know.
But I could see how the only thing that really stands out to me is that door being propped open. Not the only thing, but the thing that really blows my mind is that door being propped open because she apparently left through the front door. And I mean, was the initial plan to pull the car around back and then they had to abort mission and
or was that door propped open before she got home? So you go back to, was this a setup maybe? I don't know what back door they're talking about. If they're talking about that blue door at the garage, or if they're talking about another, the door off the patio, or a door off of by the pool. I don't know what door they're talking about, but because she's got like 100 back doors. I don't know. Did somebody maybe leave it open so that they could get back in? That's what I don't understand either, Miss Chardonnay, that said that she couldn't walk to the mailbox every single day. But yet you leave her alone? Anything could have happened to her, I mean, hi, Nina. Anything could have happened to her and nobody would know until, I wonder how long. If whoever she was supposed to meet that day is Sunday, I'm curious about that. How long it would have taken them to realize that she was gone. If that person that she was supposed to meet for the online church had never called and said, hey, your mom didn't show up and I can't get a hold of her.
The driver came up on the circle driveway instead, and then they went out the front door. I don't know. But with them removing the camera, that makes me believe that part of the plan was to remove Nancy via the front door. And perhaps if it was a kidnapping to begin with, that was the plan, they wouldn't want the family to see what condition she was in when they pulled her out of that house.
Well, we speculated yesterday.
But why would they care? I don't think it was about seeing I mean, I'm not an FBI agent, but I would think it maybe be more about seeing the car, seeing them, identifying things about them as they were taking her somewhere.
James was here about whether maybe they did take her out of the house. Maybe they threw her over the shoulder and walked out of the front of the house.
That's what I think.
And one of the questions I have is,
I think that too, because of the way the blood, no foot patterns in it, and it's blops. If she was on her tummy, like over somebody's shoulder being carried out, and either her arm was hurt because she had those wounds on her arms that we saw in those pictures. She had really thin skin and blood thinners. Or my mom, when she was on blood thinners, and my father-in-law, they would just get nosebleeds sometimes if they get real dry, or just a scrape would just turn into a wound, because their skin was so thin. So
does Savannah know that her mother was wearing the pajamas? She said that yesterday, without her shoes, in her pajamas, because she's seen maybe additional images from the Nest camera that the rest of us haven't seen? Or is it more likely that she's going off of what was in that first ransom note that she's taking so seriously, James, which you heard Harvey Levin say describes what Nancy was wearing, and maybe she's just going by that?
That's another thing, because we haven't heard what she was wearing, which I find kind of weird too, because if somebody's missing, that's one of the hi Kim, that's one of the hi Palm Queen, that's one of the first things that you say. You put out a description of the person that's missing, and you say what they look like and what they were last known to be wearing. And they didn't do that either.
That maybe the note says we took her in her pajamas without her shoes.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I didn't catch, but what she led with was that when she talked to her sister, that her sister said something's odd, mom's missing, and notice she said the door was propped open. Well, what about the blood? If you and I were brother and sister, Megan, and I called you and I said, hey, there's blood all over mom.
Good point. Yeah, that's the other thing is, oh my gosh, Kim, I rarely drink, like maybe 2-3 times a year. So that was my second time of this year, because I had a glass of champagne when Marissa and I went to Detroit. But oh my gosh, I was feeling rough today. But I don't understand why that blood evidence was not more important to everybody in the beginning than it was. I mean, it just seemed like, what was it, like 2 weeks later, the FBI finally went out and swabbed it and did that whole tent thing over it. And oh my gosh, I had fun. I needed that laugh. Like the first hour was like, serious, schmurious, but I was having fun. And that Melly, I had never seen her before. She was hilarious. I think she was shocked by us. But no, that was fun. I did have a blast. So we'll have to do that again sometime. Although I'll just have a Coke Zero instead, because oh, my head was pounding this morning. Ugh.
Mom's porch. I'd lead with that. I wouldn't lead with door propped open. right? I'd lead with blood. I'd lead with camera knocked off the front. That was not said.
Yeah.
And I try not to ever really get involved in family dynamics and why, a call was made or not made. We just don't know enough. I don't know enough about that family dynamic, but if they're taking care of, meaning if Savannah's sister and her brother-in-law are taking care of the mother.
I want to do that too. I want to do that too. Do you have her link, Palm Queen? I cannot. I shared it a couple times last night and I cannot find it anywhere. I don't know if I must have shared it from my other phone or the name of her channel, because I want to listen to her read that book.
And they're there frequently. There might be a lot of things going on that they don't ever call Savannah about. And I don't know the family well enough. I do know families, and sometimes that does happen. So I don't find the 3 hours terribly, strange. But I do have a problem with the not knowing about. So did she not know about the blood? Why not lead with that? It makes me feel like they didn't know.
It's possible she's been told, not to discuss evidence like at the crime scene.
Everybody knows about the evidence by now. At least that evidence. I mean, did they maybe just not go to that side of the house? Maybe they normally went in through the garage. So that's a question there. Did they go in through because we wondered if they had a garage door opener or if they had of course they probably had the code to the garage, I would assume. And that's just it, April. It's so weird how secretive it all is. I mean, we've said in here from the beginning, like, we still feel like we're being punked. We don't know by who, but somebody, because I don't know. I know that Ashley Banfield said the other day that her informant said that they don't have anything. They really don't have anything. But part of me wonders if somebody knows something more. Somebody does. I mean, and yeah, what footage? How much more footage do they have?
Maybe she thinks the blood is not to be discussed, even though we've all seen it. It's not a secret thanks to the investigators.
I feel like they didn't know. I feel like, the law enforcement, they remember yesterday we talked about law enforcement trying to talk. It sounds like that they're trying to tell the family it's not a big deal. People go missing all the time. And the family keeps saying, no, you don't understand. She can't just walk away. She has this heart thing. No mention. I think maybe they started searching later and then, found this blood and then called crime scene unit and all those things. I think that took a while, because if they had known that in the beginning, then certainly the prop door is a concern, but blood's more concerning. And I think I lead with.
Well, didn't Brian Enton say that he pointed it out to the sheriff? Because when they released the crime scene, he went up and took the photos. And he was like, oh, yeah, we saw that. Oh, definitely. I believe that too. It's just little chunks. And so you don't get any like before and after to be able to like put any context to it.
That one.
I would too. But
meanwhile, yeah, go ahead.
With regard to what she was wearing, it could be a simple case, Megan, of, one of the granddaughters bought her a Hello Kitty sleep shirt or something, and she always wore either that or this other thing, and they all know it, and, or something very anecdotal like that, and they noticed that one of them was missing. The sleep shirt she always wears is missing. Something distinctive. That's what I thought of when I heard that.
I mean, I'll tell you something. I know exactly what my mom sleeps in. I know exactly what it is. And if somebody ever took her while wearing it, they'd be able to convince me in a heartbeat that they had her. It's like distinctive. I know every option she has and what she does. So
well, I don't say that. I lived right next door to my mom and I didn't know every single thing that she wore, I mean, I don't know.
If that's the case here, then maybe there was something that really convinced them this person in the first note is the person.
Mm-hmm.
But I have my doubts because we have seen the Apple Watch on Nancy on previous Today Show segments. We've seen Nancy's cane on previous segments. I don't know if they mentioned the cane, but they might have known that she was not that mobile from that information. We've seen, as we discussed now, the inside of Nancy's bedroom in that videotape that we found from 2013. I don't know whether this person ever saw that, but if you were doing a planned kidnapping on Nancy, you might take a deep dive into whatever segments you could find where they showed the inside of Nancy's home, which they did on the Today Show.
Thank you, little Miss Chi-Town. Thank you, thank you. Hi, Nadia. Thank you very much, girl. Oh, yes, Nadia. Yes. I have my McDonald's Coke Zero that all my ice melted in, so I'm going to have to get another one. But I've got I found the bail hearing for that Ramone Preciado, and I wanted to play it because he is getting charged from what I read today. He also has a civil suit that was served on him. But anyway, it just shows you, like, we were wondering, like, these people, like, covering up for their son. When you watch this, you can just tell he is just nothing but excuses and he's just disgusting. Yeah, I thought so, Kim. I thought he was like the first person that he walked right up to it and was filming it. So
it's very possible this person could write a convincing note that they had Nancy, even if they didn't. I as we've discussed before, I don't understand a kidnapper who's like, check the floodlight as proof that I have Nancy. Like, Maureen, that just doesn't, like, the floodlight. That's something anyone can see from the outside of the house.
Well, yeah, the floodlight, but the Apple Watch, I'm convinced, because for the FBI to take this seriously, and James can agree with me because they were talking about it, they got together, everyone discussed it. It had to be something specific, like I ripped her Apple Watch off. I broke the buckle to where she hooked it on. I threw it.
He said it was the location.
I threw it.
Harvey said the location.
I threw it under her nightstand.
I didn't think of that. We all thought they were talking about an iWatch, like on a charger next to the bed. But yeah, if they took it, if it was on, maybe she slept in it to keep, sync with her pacemaker. I mean, I don't know. And maybe that's what happened. They took it and tossed it under the bed or something like that. I never even thought of that.
Or under the dresser, or I threw it into the bathroom, something like that. So it's got a couple of elements that just no one else knew about unless they were there.
That's exactly right.
Go ahead, James.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And yeah, she's very emotional and she's hanging on to any thread at all. And so for her to believe that, the note was for real, I completely understand how that could happen due to, the emotional nature of it. And not to say that her brother's not emotional, but I'd love to hear from him. Did he think, or did the other sister believe that, this was real? I'd like to hear from them. And again, I could see her believing that because of these victims are hanging on to any shred of hope that, it's going to be a good outcome.
I mean, I do think it's interesting that the brother, this fighter pilot, his mind immediately went to, she was kidnapped for ransom.
That I find weird too. Why would that be your first thing to think of? I mean, unless he deals with that a lot, I don't know, but.
Like Savannah told us that yesterday without even, and he didn't get there until a couple days in, James. So that was him just having the crime scene described to him by phone. He immediately went to, someone stole her to extort money from us, because knowing Savannah had means.
Exactly. And that's kind of what I was talking about yesterday. He was intuitively, he was putting it together. And if you've ever been through a traumatic situation, that's exactly what happens. I was actually stalked one time, and the cops were asking me, who do you think it is? And I immediately put it together. And, I had no I was very young. I didn't have any training in FBI stuff or stalking or anything.
Speaking of Apple Watch, it's off topic, but there's a missing retired Air Force general, William McCaslin, 68. He's not been seen since February 27th. His Apple Watch and phone were left behind. Now where's he out of? Where's he from? Is he from the Tucson area or?
And that, but I just, put it together intuitively that it's so and so, and sure enough, that's exactly who was stalking me. So it doesn't surprise me at all that that's what happened. Again, intuition is a very powerful thing, and it operates at a subconscious level faster than a computer. And he put it together very quickly, and not surprised by it at all.
Think about this. In 2006, $20,000 equaled roughly 33 ounces of gold at spot price.
Okay. I wish. Oh, I wish. That's what some people think. So we don't need to listen to her anymore, but so yeah, we'll get on to this. I wanted to show this first. This was the other day, and this was the clip that I was talking about when he was walking into court, the dad. I guess there's quite a hubbub too because of him being in there. I believe it was Savannah's brothers ended up getting removed from the courtroom because they were just staring at him. They were so angry that he was sitting in there supporting his son, who was the murderer, was found guilty.
And it's going to be with you on KENS 5 News at 5:30, also streaming on KENS 5 Plus. I'm Henry Ramos. A surprising development at the Christopher Preciado capital murder trial during the lunch hour. The Preciado family's company was served with notice of a civil lawsuit in the hallway. Sue Kalberg was the only journalist present when it happened, and she has the video. Sue.
Hi, SBW.
Henry, a process server who had a legal paper for the defendant's father showed up here in the hallway. He was looking for Ramon Preciado, who was about to return from lunch. And sure enough, within a few minutes, the lunch break was over and the Preciados were returning. That's when the process server attempted to hand off the paperwork. And at first, the Preciados refused to accept the legal notice, but when it was placed on the floor, he eventually did pick it up. Now, the server provided a copy of that paperwork to us. It says the Guerra family, who lost their son Matthew in the murder, is suing Almighty Air Conditioning. The notice says Ramon Preciado is the company's registered agent, and the clock is ticking for him to respond to the suit. Now, it says the document was filed back in December, but it was obviously just served today. And the server told us it's filed against the company because a lot of times people who feel like they've been wronged will go after a company rather than an individual because there might be an insurance payout to be had. Now, meanwhile, back in court, there was much more forensic evidence, and all of the samples collected from the car where the bodies were found were gone over in great detail. And testimony is scheduled to continue well into next week, and we will be with it throughout.
We already heard that about them finding them. So next. Oh, you're welcome. It happened 2 years ago, Nadia. And it was December 22nd. And if you're bored and feel like watching a couple replays this week at all, I've got some of the testimony. I've got the Christopher, the one that was found guilty, the son of murdering Matthew Guerra, Savannah Soto, and their baby Fabian. He was unborn. She was over 9 months pregnant. She was actually overdue. And that's when they went to go look for him. The 26th of December, she was supposed to show up at the hospital to be induced. And all the family showed up. And Matthew and Savannah never did. And they knew that something was wrong because they were so excited about being parents. And unfortunately, there's a lot of controversy around this case because Matthew was a rug dealer. And he had been talking about cleaning up his act and going straight because they were having this baby. And sadly, he did not get the chance because Christopher Preciado, it was proven, had premeditated to rob them. I don't know if he meant to take their lives, but I know that he meant to rob them. He was going to do it for car parts. He claimed self-defense, gave a ridiculous story that made absolutely no sense. It didn't match up with any of the crime scene evidence. And after this all happened, not only did he do this, but his parents then helped him hide the bodies in an apartment complex parking lot, wipe down the whole car, and take off. And I was watching something earlier today, and it said that they had found that in the middle between when they had their lives taken and in between them being found, that the Preciados, their truck through GPS was found back in the parking lot of Matthew and Savannah's apartment complex. So it didn't make any sense at all. It didn't make any sense. So and I've got it sped up to 1.25 because he is a slow talker. But this is his bail hearing, and they start talking about all of his assets, and he just seems like he doesn't really want to give answers. He doesn't want to be forthcoming. There he is. Oh, well, I'll finish real quick before I get really into this. And I started watching this, Nadia, on Ikadmel. He started covering it, and he actually had talked to somehow. He found one of the neighbors on, I don't know if it was YouTube or IG or TikTok, something, but he was going live where the neighbors lived across the street. He was going live and watching all the police coming and going to the house for the warrants and checking everything and, bringing bags out, all that stuff. And so we got to watch live a lot of this investigation, at least at the house. And then the guy's name was Carlos, I think. I think somebody said that was his name in here the other day. And he I think the police said, asked him to stop streaming them every time they came to the house because, sometimes I think they were trying to make sneak attacks, things like that. And he was an ex-felon, so he didn't want to push it. So, which I understand. But here, I'll play this. Like I said, I've got it sped up to 1.25. If it gets even too slow, if it's still too slow, just let me know and I can put it up to 1.5. But I thought it was interesting because he is going to be charged and we will be following that. But just to give you a background, just kind of what kind of person he is, you get to see his demeanor.
Good afternoon, everyone. Is both sides ready to start? Or you need some more time? He's ready. We're ready. Good. Are you ready?
Yes, yep, the upstairs window. It was so funny too. His commentary was hilarious.
116070. This is both the state detective service versus Ramon Preciado. Get that both sides now, starting with the state.
Hospital the state and Texas the state. Good afternoon again, Judge John Pence and Megan Rodriguez from Preciado.
And we are here on a referral from the United District Court. Mr. Preciado is seated in front of the courtroom. These are both motions to reduce bond filed by defense. So defense, go right ahead.
Thank you, Judge. We would call our client as a witness.
Come up here, please. Sir, can you raise your right hand, please?
Yes, sir.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir. I do.
Just make sure to speak into that microphone and do not speak over the attorneys. Wait till the question is asked before you answer. The court reporter can only take one person speaking at a time.
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
That's your witness.
Thank you, Judge. Good afternoon, Ramon.
Good evening.
Your name is Ramone Preciado,
Yes, sir.
and you're currently in jail on 2 charges, is that correct?
That's correct.
And I'm going to read off some case numbers. I'm not asking you to know them necessarily, but I'm just going to read off and tell you what they are. The first of which is CN116070. It is charged as altering, destroying, or concealing a human corpse, and the bond on that one is $500,000. Does that sound right?
And yes, in case you're wondering, that is him breathing into the microphone.
Yes, sir.
The other case you have is CN116056, and that one is entitled Abuse of a Corpse, and the bond on that one is set at $100,000. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So you have 2 bonds that total up to $600,000. Is that correct?
That's correct.
You've been in jail for how long now?
Going on 42 days. Not sure exactly.
So did you say 42 days?
Going like 40.
6 or 7 weeks maybe?
Yes, sir.
And you have not been able to make a bond at the amounts that they're set at right now, correct? Is that correct?
No, sir.
Do you have assets to sell on the outside that could get you enough money to make the bonds at $600,000?
No way, sir.
So let's talk about the properties or assets that you may or may not have available to you. Do you have a vehicle?
They took the car in as evidence, I guess you would say.
So you don't have access
No.
to a vehicle to sell, do you?
We have another truck. It's probably worth maybe 3,000 if we're lucky.
3,000?
Yeah. My wife probably thinks it's a little more, but no, the engine's kind of bad. Transmission's leaking and it's knocking. So, I know a lot about mechanics. It's probably not.
Like the engine is knocking?
Yes, sir.
Do you own land?
No, sir.
Do you own your own house?
It's actually my wife's house.
And there was some testimony by your wife the other day in terms of the house that you live in. Is that what you're referring to?
That is correct.
Is somehow a gift from her father to her and some other family members?
That is correct.
So her interest in the home is only 1/4 of the home?
Yes, sir. It's divided by 4.
Do you know roughly how much that house is worth?
No, not really.
Is it worth $1 million?
No way.
Is it worth $500,000?
No way.
Do you know how much equity there is in the home?
I couldn't tell you. Probably not much.
Not much equity.
No, I don't think anything would be worth.
In fact, your wife is paying on that house, is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
And you guys have been in it for how long now?
Between 9 and 11 years.
Has anyone in your family or friends tried to get bonds for you while you've been in custody?
No.
Is it because the amount is so high?
Nobody has that kind of money.
Nobody in your family.
No, sir.
So let's keep talking about assets. Do you have gold bricks somewhere?
No, sir.
Do you have a large cash deposit somewhere?
No, sir.
Do you have a safe full of jewelry or cash or anything like that?
It's all in the pawn shop. Might have a couple of little pieces later on here or there, but maybe $300 for it. They're mostly sentimental value.
You said about $300 worth in a pawn shop?
No, in the pawn shop, that's the ones I've been pawning them since the end of summer. Things got rough for us, so we've been pawning them, so they're all in the pawn shop.
Just so I'm clear, and it's a little hard to understand exactly what you're saying, but sit down, please.
Sorry.
That's okay. You have some things that you have pawned, is that correct?
Yes, they're all in the pawn shop. Yes, sir.
When times were tough for you economically last year, is that correct?
That is correct.
In the summer of 2023?
Yeah, they're still in there.
And it would cost you money to go get them, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So you don't even have access to them right now, do you?
No, sir.
You have to raise money to get them out of the pawn shop, is that correct?
Most definitely.
Now, again, you don't have stocks or bonds or anything like that?
No, sir.
Do you have any other assets that you could sell reasonably quickly?
Tools, but again, digital gauges and stuff like that, they're not worth much. You might buy them for $600, $700, but once you use them 3 or 4 times, they're all digital. They're not worth much. You'd be lucky if you could sell them for $10, $20. In our line of work, they get damaged real easy.
And your line of work is HVAC, right?
Contracting, yes, sir.
Let's talk also, since you've been in jail, you had some medical issues, is that correct?
That's correct.
Let's start with a medical episode you had just a couple of days after getting arrested. What happened?
They were walking me into a room, and I had an episode and I fell back. I hit my head, and it bounced off the metal door, and I slammed my 300-pound body on the floor, and I bounced, and a bunch of sheriffs were there. One of them tried to get me up, and I kind of started seizing like this, kind of stayed like that for like, I don't know, a few minutes, and I was gonna die. I tell you the truth. This kind of really scared me, and I got up. I was breathing real hard, and they took me to see the doctor, and he said it was just an episode or my medicine, because they're not giving me my medicine the way they're supposed to exactly. So like I'm supposed to get it right before I eat or right after, and it's like you really need to take that medicine the way it's supposed to. Because you go into a coma with sugar, you don't drop that, and I already had that. So 7 times since I've been locked up. 7 times that my sugar, I'm sweating. This I know for a fact. I was sweating, couldn't breathe, and I even rang the guard. Real nice guy, but they're not doctors. I mean, they just made a.
Let me stop you for 1 minute. When you went into the jail, you already had some health conditions, is that correct?
That's correct.
And what health conditions do you suffer from?
I'm diabetic. I have high blood pressure, cholesterol. I have sometimes breathing problems.
Were you on medication for any of those conditions before you went into the jail?
Yes, sir.
Since you've been in the jail, have you been getting the medication in the correct dosages and at the right times?
No, sir. Sometimes they're 6 to 8 hours apart before I eat, and that just throws me everywhere. Like I feel dazed, nauseous, episodes. You know, I don't even know what math sometimes. They're walking me somewhere. I don't know.
Wait, I got a question though. I've never been in jail. Don't they have where you can buy food and snacks and stuff, commissary or something like that, to eat in between meals? I mean, just poor Ramon.
Where I'm at.
Are you afraid that because of the substandard medical care you're getting that you might have further health problems?
It got a lot worse, that's for sure. I could tell you when I went to a specialist, my kidneys, they're giving me the same medicine they're giving me now, the metformin, and that's what was hurting me real bad then. And that's why I told them that where I'm at, I can't take the metformin. You're overdosing, you're over medicating me. You're gonna kill me. It has happened to me before. They're giving me 2,000 milligrams when my medication is nowhere near that, and it's not metformin. Nowhere near that. 2,000 milligrams is a lot. It'll knock you out like that. Okay. And imagine taking it while eating.
Okay, Ramon. You have a doctor on the outside.
Yes, sir, Dr. Wynn.
And you actually even seen specialists, haven't you, in the past?
Yes, sir.
Were you having these kind of fluctuations up and down when you were on the outside before you were locked out?
No, sir. No, sir. God bless my wife. She really keeps a good schedule and keeps me on it. You know what I mean? Even though if I work, she'll call me and let me know.
Are you asking the judge to lower your bonds?
I'm actually begging him to lower the bonds.
And if the judge was kind enough to lower the bonds to an amount that you are able to get out, or your family or friends are able to get you out, will you comply with any and all conditions?
Yes, sir, I would.
You have a couple of different options for residences when you get out, is that correct?
That is correct.
One would be your old house.
That's correct.
The other, if that doesn't work out, the other would be with a relative.
That is correct.
Are you from San Antonio?
Yes, sir, all my life.
Is all your family here in San Antonio?
4 to 5 generations.
And the 2 residences that you have as options are both here in San Antonio?
Yes, sir, they are. My whole life is here. Not to mention I have a sick wife and a sick child in Bexar County.
So, Megan just reminded me there's some testimony by your wife the other day about a bank account that maybe you guys had, and I think she testified it had approximately $3,500 in it. Do you think that that's correct?
No, so it's probably negative.
It's negative now?
Definitely.
So you don't even have that kind of cash available for a bond, is that right?
No, sir. It might have had influence, but we were paying bills. I mean, it is what it is. People have to eat. People have to pay bills.
Were you guys behind a couple of months on your mortgage at the time you all were arrested?
Going on 3 months, yes, sir.
Where were you when you got arrested?
At my house.
And do you remember what day it was that you got arrested?
Not exactly, sir. No, sir.
It was in January, wasn't it?
Yes, sir. January.
And had you attempted to leave San Antonio in the few weeks that this investigation was ongoing?
No, sir. All I know is San Antonio. All my family's here.
Had you tried to get a passport?
No, sir.
Have you tried to book a flight to Greece?
No, sir.
Have you made any plans whatsoever to leave or abscond from San Antonio?
I have nowhere to go. My family's here.
Ramon, you have, when you were younger in your 20s, you'd been in a little bit of trouble, correct?
That's correct.
And you had done, on the state side, you had done probation, is that correct?
That is correct.
And you had successfully completed those probations, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
On the federal side, about 24, 25 years ago, you were prosecuted as well.
That's correct.
And did you ever have any violations when you were on supervised release?
No, sir. She actually commended me on doing a very good job. Always showing up on time, paying what I need to pay.
You never fled when you had those cases, did you?
No, sir.
You never tried to run, did you?
No, sir.
And you complied with all the terms that the judges asked you to comply with, is that correct?
That's correct, sir.
Do you have a job?
Yes, sir.
And it's in HVAC, or I'm sorry, subcontracting.
HVAC, you're correct.
Do you intend on going back to work if you can?
It's besides my wife and my child. It's my life. That's all I've ever known.
Judge, I'll pass the witness at this time.
State your witness. Mr. Preciado, now, there's been some issue with your wife. Is that Richard Romanos?
That's correct.
How long have you guys been married?
She would tell you the exact date. I could tell you it's pretty close to 30 years. Not exactly married, but together, 30 years. But yes, 30 years.
You guys are married?
Yes, sir, we are.
And what children do you have?
We have Christopher Ray Preciado.
That's your only child?
Judge, move your approach.
Sir?
Do y'all have any microphones here in front of the bench? Just the one in front of the witness?
Mr. Preciado, so you were saying that Christopher is your only child with Romanos, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you have other children as well, correct?
That's correct.
How many are your children?
Two.
Two other than Christopher?
Yes.
What are their ages?
It's hard to remember when you get older. Hold on, give me a second. 30 and 28.
So they're adults.
Yes, sir. They have their own lives. Yes, sir.
Do they live here in San Antonio as well?
The whole family is in San Antonio.
And living with Mr. Romanos, you were living at the residence on Charlie Chan?
That's correct.
I mean, that's you talking about the house that you guys have. That's the residence you're talking about.
The house she has, yes, sir.
And did she inherit that house, or what you said it was a gift?
That's correct.
So it was inherited?
It was a gift. It's for them. She has to tell the details. I don't get in her business like that.
And Mr. Romanos, she has been unemployed for about 14 years, is that correct?
I would say it's about right. I'm not sure. Again,
This whole thing, they're just all full of excuses. None of this is our fault. We shouldn't be held accountable because we're sick. We're this. We didn't mean to do this. This was self-defense. It's just, you know exactly why Christopher is the way he is after hearing this.
I don't keep up with that. I mean,
Well, does she work?
No, sir, she doesn't.
Has it been a long time since she's worked?
It's been a little bit, yes, sir.
So since you guys started living in this house, has she ever worked while y'all were living in that house?
She wasn't working before that.
So who was making the monthly mortgage payments on the house?
Her dad would help us.
And he passed away in 2019?
I believe that's correct. You would have to ask her.
Was he helping you up until that time?
Off and on, yes, sir.
So after that, who was helping make these mortgage payments?
You're looking at him, sir.
Because you're the breadwinner in the household.
Yes, sir. To the best of my knowledge.
Okay. And about how much does that mortgage payment amount?
It's hard to say because it changes. I think we started with 11.
Did he just say he's the sole breadwinner to the best of his knowledge? What? What does that even mean?
I think now it's up to 18 something.
And
So I cannot give you exact. I can tell you what's going for right about now.
okay, so somewhere between 1,100 and 1,800 in that neighborhood.
It's 18 right now, 1836 or something.
And you said you're about 3 months behind on that, to your knowledge.
She give or take. I have been here almost 2 months, so
Are you aware of any payments that are made towards the mortgage since you've been in the jail?
I think my sister might have tried to make one a payment or something.
And I know you said you weren't sure about the value of the home, but do you have an idea of how much equity you guys have in that house?
I have no idea.
And would surprise you to know that this honestly is about $100,000?
She probably would say something like that, but she doesn't know. She's just guessing. You probably put her on the spot. She probably just said some number. She has no idea. She doesn't keep up with that stuff. But if she said 100,000, she's very intelligent. She might have looked it up or something.
Because the house is in her name, so she's kind of the one who deals with that aspect of it.
That's correct.
And if Ms. Romano said that you guys had a vehicle that was worth $12,000, would she be talking about this truck with the mechanical issues that you mentioned earlier?
I think it's the truck that y'all took.
What's that?
The truck that y'all took for evidence.
That's the one you think is worth $12,000?
Give or take, it's 2014 or 15. So yes, I would say so.
But you think the other truck you guys own is worth about $3,000, I think you said.
Unless you put a new engine in the transmission, and you probably could pick it up. But at that point, you'll be, might as well get in the vehicle.
I know he mumbles. Let me see if I can. Oh. Let's see if this will work. If it'll.
And how much do you think?
You see that?
Christopher doesn't have a vehicle. They would just lend it to him, and it was actually my sister's vehicle.
And that vehicle's been sold now?
I have no idea what's been. I've been in here, sir.
But you've been communicating with your family and speaking with them since your incarceration, right?
That's correct.
You speak to your son and your sister regularly, right?
To the most part.
And in fact, your family's been helping kind of liquidate the assets you guys have in the house, right?
I told him to move some of the personal items.
Yeah, he mumbles. It's so hard to understand him. And it's like he talks around everything. So he adds a bunch of extra stuff instead of just saying yes, no, whatever, And it's it drives me nuts. He's hard to follow. But I think it's because it's like he's trying to make up a story as he goes. He's trying to be convincing.
Out. Yes, sir. The things that meant stuff to us, meaningful stuff. Not inexpensive, but just stuff that means something to us. You might have something that you have that you loved as you were a child. It might not be worth nothing to anybody else, but it's worth something to us. You know what I'm trying to tell you?
No, I understand. I'm just trying to understand what efforts your family's been taking to sell things on your behalf.
Well, I wouldn't say things. It's just a few little. You can say I haven't sold anything yet. I think it's just little stuff they put away. So the house doesn't get robbed. Pretty much have an open target. So every day people are doing crazy stuff around. They're breaking windows and anyway, other stuff.
Did you, in fact, your son rented a U-Haul truck in to haul all that stuff out of the house, right?
I didn't. He probably took little stuff that would help him out. Yes, sir.
But the idea.
When you say U-Haul, you use the word U-Haul. People think it's a big truck. No, it could have been a little bitty truck that he just said what he needed.
It could have been.
I mean,
a little
you
bitty
understand
truck.
that he's selling these things to raise money for you guys, is that correct?
As far as I know, he's not.
I don't
He hasn't
believe-
sold anything yet, sir. He's just trying to put.
I don't believe, if I remember correctly, that it was a little itty bitty truck. I believe it was one of the small, like cube vans, like the. So yeah, it wasn't like a pickup truck.
But little stuff people want to break into the house.
And the idea is you're going to
Oh
store
my
stuff
gosh,
in there
thank you, SVW. Thank you
He's-
so much.
This is what he says.
You're
Who
so
knows? He'll probably be sitting there,
sweet.
2 or 3 years from now.
Mwah.
Kids say something, they do something else. That's just the way it is. But hopefully, one day maybe get a little bit. We have to buy meds. We have to pay bills. Bills have to pay.
Here, I gotta turn on my. Mwah. Thank you. That was so sweet of you. Thank you.
Be done. Poor people, that's how they do things. Poor people sell stuff to buy their meds. Poor people go and sell stuff to buy food, to pay bills. That's how we pay bills. When you don't have no money, when you don't have a regular check coming in. Do you understand that?
Your meds are being paid by the citizens of Bexar County right now, right?
They are giving meds, not the ones I need. Yes, sir. You are correct.
We'll talk about that in a little.
Oh, that's right. It's hard to afford meds that I don't have to pay for.
But in terms of what's been going on at your house, the idea is that everything's going to be moved out of this house and sold eventually.
That's not a true statement. Some things are being moved, little things. Yes, sir.
The plan is that house is going to be sold as well, correct?
No, sir. That's also not true. We're deciding what we're going to do with the house, which is the one that destroyed in the process.
Have you talked to your sister about selling it on Open Door?
I have, and we discussed it, but there's no final saying. It's just the ideas. You want to sit there and starve, or you want to come up with some ideas? We're coming up with ideas.
Okay, that's what's been going on the last 6 or 7 weeks since you've been incarcerated. Is you guys have been actively trying to raise money for your bail.
We have to eat. We have to pay bills.
Brainstorming. Probably with what you got. The 3 sons, the mom and the dad, 5 people probably have. And still less than half brain power of one person, most likely. These people are not smart. They did not get away with this well.
We have to come up with an idea.
Well, your food is being paid for by the jail, correct?
That's a true statement, but again, it's all food I can't eat. Why do you think I'm sitting here? Lost some pounds.
Car parts. His son killed them for the deal was talked about $640. It's believed he was trying to buy smoke off of him, that was what he was setting him up for. And that's what I wonder, because they couldn't find any when they found Savannah and Matthew. So I'm wondering if when they went back, or when that truck went back to their apartment, if that's what they were doing, is getting whatever smoke he had and money and whatever, and getting, the rest, because they stole his rings. They were caught at the pawn shop selling his rings. And so that was like $300. And then there was like $100 some in car parts that he got. I mean, it's just, and then this fool helped him hide the bodies, helped him clean it all up. Daddy's baby.
Feeling sick, shaking, having chest complications. So when you say that, it is a true statement. I am not eating what I'm supposed to, not feeling like the way I'm supposed to, not taking my medication the way I'm supposed to,
Exactly,
and not feeling the way I'm supposed to. Shaking, having episodes. I wasn't having episodes like that. I've never fallen on my face, ahead, and hurt my ribs. I have never, ever walked somewhere and not knew where I was.
Answer the question that I asked you, please, and nothing else. Because I'm just trying to.
I apologize.
Okay. There's just certain things I have to ask you that are relevant to this hearing about fun.
I mean, this guy is dramatic. He's theatrical. But that's the thing. So you're in jail. He literally gained weight while he was in jail. And that doesn't happen because you're not eating, okay? And again, I go back. You're an adult. You know how to take care of this. Have your family go put $20 on your books and get some commissary, get some snacks. You've been in there 41 days so that you can have your little 10 a.m. peanut butter crackers like my mom did, or an apple or something that can tide you over until your next meal is served. The meal that, again, someone else is paying for.
It has a lot to do with money that you're raising for your bond. So that's all I'm asking about in terms of that. But so if I understand correctly, has any amount of money been raised for your bond since you've been put in jail?
No, sir.
But yet your son has been off selling things since that time.
Maybe you can show me a receipt. I believe you, but I doubt it.
And that's exactly it. The only time that my mom got low blood sugar was if she took her meds without eating, or if she did her shots without eating. but she never did that. So if he's getting his metformin or whatever he's getting, then he needs something in with him so that he can eat, and that's on him. Or wait to take it until your meal. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
He always says, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna try to get this. I'm gonna try to sell this," but he's probably sitting there. I guarantee you. I know my son. He always says that. He's a workaholic. He works 3 or 4 jobs. You know what I mean? And they're all he paid very little. So I guarantee they're sitting somewhere.
Workaholic, works 3 or 4 jobs. And shouldn't have said that. They pay very little. Okay.
And prior to being incarcerated, you're aware that you had a large amount of jewelry in your house. Is that correct?
Pawn shop, yes, sir.
And also in your house.
There's a little bit left, yes, sir.
And it's like in your pockets and things like that, your clothing.
Yes, sir. When I come somewhere, I'll put in my pocket when I go home. Who doesn't? Some people leave it on the dresser. Some people leave it there.
Okay. Does anyone in here, when they get home from work, take their jewelry off and put it in their pocket? Oh, I've got both vertical and horizontal. Kim's on vertical and you're on horizontal. That's why. Right up here, is the chat in a good spot on the screen? Because the chat that's on the screen mixes both of them together. I gotta figure out my layout. Yeah, I did that because it ends up when I'm doing I've got that setting set now for the streaming service, because when I'm doing my nail videos, it makes that it formats it for people watching on the phone, so it's easier to see what I'm doing instead of having like the teeny tiny nails.
Who doesn't?
Has your son then instructed to sell those things to raise money for your mom?
No, sir. If you heard that, you must have heard it wrong. What I said was, put it away.
Spicy.
Some of those are family heirlooms. And what I said, though, but if you needed a few dollars to get something to eat or put gas, do what you got to do, you know what I mean? Because, again, we have to eat. That's just the way it is with people.
Do you support your older son who's out in the real world?
Do I support him?
I mean, financially.
Again, he's a workaholic. I haven't even seen him in who knows how long.
Do you support him financially? Because I'm asking because you keep saying that you're letting him sell things to raise money for his food and things like that.
No, sir. What I said was, I'm letting him take care of the things. You're the one that said in that category. Yes.
Ramon, you just said that if you need something to eat, you can use these things to sell. What does taking care of them do if he needs to eat?
If he needs to get rid of things, if he needs to get something to eat, he's not going to expect it to do it for free.
Well, why would you need money from your jewelry all of a sudden just to be turning your jail?
You're the one that said he's going to figure out. I said if you need something to get something to eat, that's what I said.
Well, again, the question I asked you was, do you support?
I wondered that too, Emmy.
No, sir, I do not.
Now, have you ever had to deal with bond companies before?
No, sir.
And so, are you aware of kind of their practice in terms of what they require as a down payment for any kind of bond?
I've heard a little bit, but not really.
What is your understanding of how that works?
They want 10 to 20% or something like that.
So 10% or of the amount of the bond.
It's kind of my understanding. I haven't talked to anybody. I haven't dealt with anybody.
I know you haven't, but are you aware if your family has called around and checked?
No, sir. They don't have that kind of money.
Have you asked them to? Well, how do they know if they haven't called around and checked?
Because nobody has $1 million, 600,000 laying around. Nobody.
Well, you know that your bond is right now set at a total of $600,000. So, but you don't know what a bond company would require in terms of the amount needed to make that bond.
That's a true statement, but again, they want to have that kind of money.
Well, how do they know what they need if they haven't called and asked?
Sir, there's no way my family had 100,000, 80,000, 50,000 just to put somewhere. They got kids, they got families. There's no way they could put that kind of money, and that's the truth. There's nothing to say, nothing to give, nothing to be taken. If they don't have it, they just don't have it. Not that they don't want to help, they just don't have it.
You don't know if a bond company, any particular bond company would do a payment plan, or you don't know what the terms of that would be because you guys haven't called around to check.
No, sir, I've been here. I have not. That's a true statement. I have not. But again, I have not.
Okay, I've watched a million jail programs. Like I said, I've never been in jail. But you have access to a phone to call around a bail bondsman. I do know that's a fact. But nobody, your wife that's sitting at home can't call around and just see if there's a possibility.
I called and I talked to nobody.
But you haven't asked either your older son or your sister to do that either, right?
I told my sister to look around, but she doesn't have no idea what's going on with them. She doesn't. It is what it is.
To your knowledge, no one in your family is called around and checked the bond company on your behalf.
No, sir.
And you said that if you were to be released, you would either reside at the residence on Charlie Chan or with another family member, correct?
That's correct, yes, sir.
That other family member, is that person live in San Antonio?
All my family is in San Antonio.
Is that person live in San Antonio?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that home would be in San Antonio?
Yes, sir.
Are you aware of this the situation at your house on Charlie Chan right now? What condition it's in?
I'm scared of the thought.
Does it have running water?
Probably not.
Does it have access?
Same here, Nina. It's just miserable.
to electricity?
Probably. I think my son said he tried to take care of that.
So it's possible it doesn't have access to electricity.
No disrespect, but I don't know. I don't know nothing about the house.
I know, that's what I'm trying to say. You're saying this is a place that you would go, but you really don't know what the situation is over there, and whether that's a good option for you.
Well, again, sir, that is a true statement, but I have to live somewhere. So it would be either with my family members or the house. You asked me where I would live, and that's what I'm telling you. I would have to make the best of it.
Are you a United States citizen?
Yes, sir.
And do you have a passport?
No, sir.
Have you ever had a passport?
No, sir.
Have you ever traveled to Mexico?
No, sir.
Never?
I don't know the way in Mexico. What would I do in Mexico? Don't let my brown skin fool you.
Yes or no question?
No, sir.
Come on.
And you said earlier, I just want to clarify, sorry. You said you had a sick wife and a sick child in Barron County. Are you referring to Ms. Romanos and Mr. Preciado?
My son and my wife, yes, sir.
Why are you saying that they're sick?
Because they are
Exactly, Nina.
sick. My wife might sound good, but her sugar's out of control. She plays that real tough, but she's not. She's sick. You can see it in her eyes. When she walks, when she talks, the sugar's so out of control. Most of the time, you can't get her numbers are just everywhere. And I know.
Oh, she helped him too. She was with him in the truck. She hid the firearm in her, what do you call it? In her safe in her room. And then when the cops got there, said, "Oh, my room is locked and I don't know where the key is." See, now she doesn't know anything about the house now. It's her house. But yeah, oh, this gets so deep. And the cops were like, "All right, well, then we're just going to bust down the door." Miraculously, she ended up finding the key to her bedroom in the garage or something like that, and opens up the door, and they end up finding, again, miraculously enough, the firearm that was used on both Matthew and Savannah. Imagine that. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, BWG. I think it's too far away, but I mean, at this point, who knows? We may get a big surprise in a couple days or a day or so. Oh, absolutely, Nina. They just don't care. They're just lazy, just unaccountable people. They don't take accountability for anything. They spoiled their kid. And exactly. And that's just it. The medical issues he's talking about are completely within his control. He's given his medications. He has food. But it's always someone else's fault. It's always someone else's fault. And that was the whole defense. Oh, Kim, you gotta watch the interrogation live when you get a chance, because to hear his son in the interrogation, it is ridiculous. Okay. I mean, ridiculous. He has every excuse in the book of why this wasn't his problem, why it wasn't his fault, and it was all an accident, and that they tried to rob him. when he got in the car. And yeah, let's see. Did I put this on a playlist? One sec. Here, I'll play it and then I'll find the link and I'll.
Because I've seen her check it
in the chat.
And it's 3.
Oh. Dang it. Dang it. Where are we at? Let's see. Let me find it. Sorry, that was my bad. There. Oh, now Christopher. No, Christopher is sick. Poor Christopher. Poor sick Christopher. Oh, poor sick. Exactly, Nina. Oh, poor Christopher. Took the lives of 2 people, an unborn baby, and he's having trouble breathing in jail. Maybe Christopher should go home too. Hi, Jonathan.
Doctors don't lie. They write it down.
Sorry.
Well, it's surprised you know she didn't.
I don't know the way in Mexico. What would I do in Mexico?
There.
Don't let
We'll
my brown
rewind it
skin
back
fool
to there.
you.
I'm so sorry. I forgot to put it on the screen.
No, sir.
And you said earlier, I just want to clarify, I'm sorry. You said you had a sick wife and a sick child in Barron County. Are you referring to Mr. Romanos and Mr. Preciado?
My son and my wife, yes, sir.
Why are you saying that they're sick?
Because they are sick. My wife might sound good, but her sugar's out of control. She plays that real tough, but she's not. She's sick. You can see it in her eyes. When she walks, when she talks, the sugar's so out of control. Most of the time, you can't get her numbers are just everywhere. And I know, because I've seen her check it. And it's 300 or 400 sometimes 200, 300. Sometimes she only eat nothing. She's at this point, also at 500. So I know this. And Christopher, he has breathing problems. Sometimes I stay up and just watch. We stay on watching him because I'm worried he won't wake up in the morning. And that's reality. And they're both sitting in Barron County Jail right now. And yes, I know what is going on, what y'all are saying. I understand that. But again, they're sitting behind bars. And they're both sick. Whether you think that's true or not, you can check their doctor records. You can check, and they'll tell you what's going on with Christopher. And my attorney will give you a list if you want. And there's nothing to say anything else. I mean, that's the truth. There's no lying. Doctors don't lie. They write it down.
Well, it's surprised you know she didn't mention that at all during her hearing.
Again, I told you she's a strong woman.
This was in San Antonio.
Just circling back real quick to the bank account situation. You know, you said
I thought you were talking to Jonathan. I'm sorry.
I don't know where I'm checking it, but yeah, most likely 90% is negative.
Now, you guys don't have just one account. You have multiple accounts, right?
No, sir. Me and her share an account. She has a personal account.
And then you share an account with her aside from that?
No, sir. We have an account together. Then she has her own little thing that sometimes she works with Chris.
That account that you have together, is that your business account?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what is the business that you have an account for? I mean, what generally? I'm not asking for the name of it or anything like that.
It's an air conditioning contractor.
So what kind of work do you do? You're an air conditioning contractor, and you testify to that. You've been doing that a long time, correct?
All my life, electrical and air conditioning, sir.
Who do you contract with in general? Are you contracting with residential people?
Residential, commercial,
Residential and commercial?
just schools, yes, sir.
And what is the name of the company?
Judge to approach.
Mr. Preciado, how long have you had this account?
To tell you the truth, between 11 and 13 years. Don't quote me exactly, but right around there.
And are you the owner of the company?
I like to say my wife's the owner, but I'm the boss. But yes, I'm the owner.
And do you have any employees?
I contract out if I need to,
For employment, for labor?
if need to, including Christopher is the one that's been helping me.
And if you're not contracting out, you don't have employees.
Say it again.
If you're not contracting out, you still have like regular employees on the payroll.
Sure I do. Me and Christopher, and most of the time me. So we're still considered employees. Might be the owner, but I still turn a wrench.
Is your wife on the payroll as well?
She's not on the payroll, but she helps me with the paperwork.
And do you know how the business
But they're both so sick they can't do anything. Remember that.
is organized? Is it a sole proprietorship or an LLC?
Sole proprietorship.
And so you pay taxes on all that income.
Yeah, most definitely. Yes, sir.
And again, I know you're saying you're doing residential and commercial, but how do you get business, new business?
Advertisement.
So do individuals call you if they have an issue with their house or their HVAC repair?
House.
Exactly.
Commercial. Yes, sir.
And how do you get the commercial business?
Same as the residential. They'll call. They'll ask me questions.
Do you have some regular customers that maybe call you, on an annual basis or regular basis?
Yes, sir. I do. Some very good people.
And you've been doing this for almost 13 years, you said.
Yes, sir. And again, some very good people.
How much of your business comes from repeat customers?
Sorry, I forgot the subtitles again.
20 to 30, depending on the year.
And do you know the balance of that business bank account?
As of right now, that's the account we're talking about. It should be negative.
And do you have any knowledge about what is in your wife's account?
No, it's probably negative too. It was not like nothing in there. If there's anything in there, it's because of Chris. Chris goes to school.
What? Exactly, Nina. Exactly.
Now, if you were to be released and Ms. Romanos and Mr. Preciado were to be released, would you guys still live together?
They're my world. That's all I have.
Is that a yes?
Yes, sir.
You can't live with the
Wherever you're
people that you're
residing,
charged
won't
with.
be-
Yes, sir.
So your attorney mentioned your criminal history a little bit. And in fact, do you know the first time you were arrested, what that was for?
I don't remember, sir. I don't remember.
Okay. Do you remember being charged with unauthorized use of a vehicle in August of 1988?
Yeah. I do now.
I thought so too. I thought that's what he said.
Okay. And what happened with your case? What was the outcome?
Nothing. Everything's satisfactory.
Yeah, she was in jail at this time too. And I've got to do some more digging. Like I said, this just popped up last week. I had not heard about this case in 2 years. And all of a sudden, boom, the son was going to trial for capital murder. And I'm like, whoa, literally, and I had just thought about it like a couple days before, and boom. So I got to do some digging because I want to see. I'm going to follow this to the end because I hope this father gets charged, and I hope the mother does too, because she helped hide all of this stuff. And he took the life of a mother.
You're on probation, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. On that case, do you remember a period of time where you failed to report to the probation department for a period of time?
No, sir. I don't think I ever failed to report. If it was, it would have been the time that I was in the hospital. She kind of wrote me off, but then when I talked to her, we cleared everything up.
So,
in my line of work, there's a lot of work injuries, a lot of work injuries. In my kind of work, you'd be lucky if you get home that night. I mean, it's just industrial work, and it's.
You agree with me though, when you're on probation for a felony?
Yeah, I can't find it either. There's nobody that streamed the full hearing. I've got, excuse me. I've got, I have one of the detectives' testimonies. Which I think that was like a 2-hour video. I have the body cam footage from when they interrogated him at the house. I have his interrogation. This is Christopher. I haven't been able to find anything except for this court appearance on Ramon, and this was from, when was this from? 2 years ago. So this was, like I said, 41 days after he had been arrested and put in jail. And I believe the mom's name is like Marta, and I think she got out. She definitely got out before he did. But so I thought that she was still in jail at this time. Oh, there's another one up here too. 1 year ago to reduce the bond. Now he's out now because we saw him at Christopher's trial. So I can pop that on next. There's only about 15 minutes left of this one. I'll pop that one on next because then I gotta go. Little guy's falling asleep in the chair over there, so I'm gonna go get him in bed, and then I'll be watching on my phone. So well, I've got them. What I'll do, when I come back is I will put them on a playlist, just those videos, and I'll timestamp when because I covered them, but I'll timestamp when I start them so that you guys know when to, because we covered a lot of stuff during some of those, so like the Nancy Guthrie kind of mixed in, and Kelly Bryant, all of that, which I got to find out when she's going back to court too.
I always do. That's why I followed them all correctly, 100%. They're all satisfactory. And then somebody even got commended on my probation officers, all of them. Actually, I even talked to a couple of them. They're real nice people. They're good people, good-hearted people.
So you were placed on 6 years deferred adjudication back in August of 1988. Does that sound about right?
You have to confirm my lawyer, but I think that's about right.
And in between the period of April to June of 1992, you did not report to probation, correct?
I don't see the numbers. You have the numbers in front of you, sir, so I'm not sure.
You said that was about when you were sick?
I have no idea, sir. It's way back then. I'm going on 54 years old, sir. I barely remember what I did yesterday. So if you're telling me you're looking at the paperwork, that's what it says, then that's what it says.
And no remorse. It's all about them. It's all about how uncomfortable they are, how this is making their lives harder. And it should. You should feel at least a tiny, tiny bit of the pain that you caused this family. I don't care what this family was into. I don't care what Matthew was into. I don't care that Savannah was riding along with him. I don't care. Was it a horrible choice? Absolutely. But they did not deserve to lose their lives, and neither did that baby. And you know what's sad is I was listening to the medical examiner, like a clip of her testimony, and she said that because he was not born yet, they could not give him a cause of death. But they were able to convict Christopher on his death because they said that his death was caused by his mother passing away. So it wasn't like a definite, cause of death, but it was because his mother had passed away. And I just thought that was just so sad.
I'm not looking at the paperwork you are, sir. So if that's what it says, then I believe what you're telling me.
If the probation department sent in an MTR, a motion to revoke, that alleged you weren't reporting during that period of time, would your probation officer be telling the truth?
I don't remember having no MTR, sir. But yes, they would be telling the truth if there was something like that on your paperwork, but I never had no MTR.
And you don't remember having an MTR, but do you remember having to come to court for one, and after you've been a fugitive for a couple months after that MTR was filed?
No, I don't remember. If you have it in front of you, you have it in front of you, but I don't remember that. I was, a young kid.
I don't even know if he got a death certificate. He didn't get a birth certificate, no. I don't even know if he got a death certificate. There would have to be something. There would have to be something because, he was part of the situation, the crime scene, but I wonder. That's a good question.
You would agree with me that reporting to a probation officer is very similar to reporting to a pre-trial officer that deals with people that have cases pending, right?
I agree 100%, sir. Yes, sir.
Well,
Also,
good. We're glad you
I'm betting
agree.
my life on it.
And on that same, around that same time, you were also charged with evading arrest, correct?
Those were all put together. I think you're separating them, but they were all one thing.
Okay, so that was part of the unauthorized use of a vehicle case.
Yeah, there was some things on there, different things, yes, sir.
And then later, in 1994, you were charged with assault with bodily injury, correct?
I don't remember that date, but yeah, that's correct.
And what happened with that case?
You have to read it to me, I'll tell you.
Did you go to jail or did you get probation? Do you remember?
Probably probation, I don't remember.
And then in February 1999, you were arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, correct?
That's correct, sir.
Right. And in that case, it was alleged you stabbed somebody, right?
Hi, Wyoming. Good to see you.
Yes, sir, you came into the house. I had to do what I had to do.
And you pled guilty to that, correct?
It was the only way to keep me outside working.
Yeah, she was, I believe she was 2 weeks overdue because she was going to be induced on the 26th. That's the heartbreaking part too, is that, I don't know if you were here earlier when I said it, that's how they originally knew that they were missing. The whole family, both sides, showed up at the hospital on the 26th because she was going in to be induced. And Matthew and Savannah never showed up. And that's when they knew something was up because they were so excited about that day. I mean, and anybody that's had kids knows you are ready to have that baby when it's time. And instead, they ended up having to go out and search for them and found them. I think it was 12 days later that they found them.
And you were placed on deferred adjudication for 5 years, correct?
Sounds about right, yes, sir.
Hi, Austin.
The judge agreed to meet with me that the case should have went my way, that I should have went to court and fought it. But again, I told him that, I needed my livelihood. I have to survive.
It's so sad, and all that he can talk about ever is just himself. Just pity poor Ramon.
You know what I mean? So he agreed for me. That's why I only got 5 years. And any judge would tell you should have got about 10, 20 years probation. But he only gave me 5 because he agreed that what had happened was self-defense and I should have took it to court.
So you entered a plea on that. You took responsibility for that case.
Oh. I watched this 2 years ago, but I just caught that. Another case where he was charged with assault, pled to it, took his punishment, okay. And then afterwards said he didn't realize he could have pled that he was defending himself.
I take responsibility for everything I do, sir.
No. Nah.
And you mentioned earlier with your attorney about a federal case that you had. What was that case for?
Paperwork. That same case, something had happened, and I tried to purchase a weapon. I just signed some paperwork. The guy filled it out for me, and I got in trouble for it.
So it was for a firearms defense?
I never got the firearm. It was just the guy filled it up. I signed it.
That's not the charge. I want you to know what happened and all that. But like, this was for unlawful possession of a firearm, correct? What were you charged with?
I was trying to buy a firearm. I never got a firearm. It was just paper I signed.
See, that's one of those. See, what had happened was stories. Tell Mama I said hello too. No worries. I'm going to, after this is over, I've got another video I'm going to play while I go put my little guy to bed. And then, so I'll be on for a while. A little while at least. Not as late as I was last night. I got to bed at 6:30 a.m. So, but is that what he said? 3 years? And they did have a family. They did have a funeral, and they were able to, I couldn't watch it. They actually, live streamed it, because there was such a public outcrying for these poor kids, and she got to, be buried holding him. So she did get to hold him, and she'll be forever holding him. So I thought that was very sweet, and I was glad that they were able to do that, at least.
All right, so something to do with firearm. And were you sent to federal prison for that offense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how long did you go to federal prison?
1 year, 1 day.
And then you said after that you were on supervised release for how long? How long were you on supervised release?
Well, a year, I think. I'm not sure. Maybe less.
Do you remember, like...
And how do you not remember this stuff? I don't understand that either.
The time frame, the year, or anything like that?
No, sir.
Was it after you were on the probation for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon?
I think they kind of ran together.
Oh, trust me, Kim, I get it. This case, I was glued to it, just hoping that they found them, hoping that, they ran off somewhere or something. And then you find all this out, and then you hear this from these people that just have nothing but excuses. It's sad. It makes you angry. It makes you feel everything.
The probation officer said that we were doing real good. I was doing real good. So they just kind of ran together. They kind of knew each other. So they said, oh, no, you're a very good guy. We're going to just do it like that. So that's how it happened. So how they just ran together.
Oh, such a good guy.
Everybody seems to think you're a pretty good guy.
I would tend to agree, except you.
Oh.
Probation officer said they would be your model probationer and stuff like that.
I've been in this business for 28 years. I know a lot of good people. And let me tell you, I've never done anything wrong. I'm a good guy. You might have a lot of paperwork there, but that doesn't describe a person. That describes a boy. When a man changes who he is, he does things right. Things happen, and you have to deal with it.
Things happen, like your son kills 3 people, and then you have to deal with it, like grab towels out of your truck and wipe the vehicle down for fingerprints and DNA and make sure that the gun's gone. But you forgot a bullet, Ramon. Yeah. They were also seen after this, the dad was putting a garbage bag in a dumpster on the way home. And there was a garbage bag there, so we assume it's the towels and all the stuff that they used to clean this up. Because Matthew's clothes, his hoodie and everything, or not Matthew, Christopher, the son that was convicted, his clothes were also missing. The clothes that he had on in the camera footage.
And here we are dealing with it. But like the judge is here, I'm here to do right. And I ain't going nowhere because my family's sitting in Bear County, let me tell you. And we're going to get through this because that's all I know.
No, this is that Savannah Soto and Matthew Guerra from San Antonio, Texas. Driver, you watched this with me. Ikadmel had covered it 2 years ago. This is from his first, one of his first bond hearings where he's asking for a lower bond. And then I've got one more that I'm going to play while I put our little Bubbykins to bed. He's again back in court a year later asking for a lower bond hearing again.
What I do is survive. And believe me, we will get through this.
Not at all, Wyoming. Not at all.
You were a boy. You were in your 30s, correct?
A boy at mine. In my mind.
Mr. Preciado.
At the age doesn't exactly make you a man. Your mentality does.
Exactly.
I'm a man now.
No, you're
not. I plan to stay that way. And I've been doing that for the last 20 years, 24 years, and I plan to stay like that because I have no other way.
Until December 22nd.
When God enters your heart, that's all there is. There is nothing. As long as He be with you, no matter who be against you, and that's just the way it is.
Please. You talked about your doctor on the outside, Dr. Nguyen.
That's correct.
And
don't ask me what the spelling is. It's kind of weird.
That's okay. Now, Dr. Nguyen, he's with university.
Also, driver, if you're still listening, I'm just gonna let you know at this point, I'm hungry. I forgot to eat dinner because it didn't feel good, and I partied too hard like an old lady last night. So, if you're feeling nice, you can text me and ask me what I want to eat on your way home.
The university health system.
That's correct. I think he does other practices too, but university is what we meant.
Right. That's where you routinely go for care when you're on the outside.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, do you know who provides the medical care for you for inmates there?
Well, that's it, Wyoming. Just everything's an excuse. It's always someone else's fault.
County jail.
The same.
It's university, right?
Yes, sir. That doesn't mean you're getting the medications right, because if not, my medications would have debris in them. I wouldn't be getting different milligrams. I wouldn't be sick. I would be thrown on the floor at 3 o'clock in the morning because my sugar is so low. That doesn't mean you're getting the same people. Just because you're getting the medications, you're not getting the medications you need. That's a big difference. If I sold you a car and I say, oh, just put it in the engine, that's not true. You need to put the engine that the car needs. That's just the way it is. I'm not getting what I need. And yes, I know where I'm at, and I can't be picky, but I still have a right.
Oh, I did, Wyoming, and I am paying for it today. I feel like I got hit by a truck.
Right to live. You can't just give me any medication, especially stuff that's already shut down my kidneys. I have a right. You have a right.
And if his kidneys were shut down, then he'd be on dialysis, which he's not. Poor Ramon. Oh, poor Ramon.
As an inmate at the Bear County Jail, you were getting medical care from the same place you were getting it when you were free and out in the world before this.
That's a true statement, but I'm not getting the quality. You're not getting the same medications. If you compare the medications, they're not the same milligrams. They're not the same medicines. You can't compare one brand to another and say, oh yeah, you could say that one. That's not true.
Now, when you've been in the jail, have you been dealing with doctors over there that or in the infirmary?
I've dealt with a few that don't too much listen to me, but I try to let them know what's going on. They're not real. They really don't really pay attention. Just want to give you what they want to give you. But again, I've been around for a long time, and you're not gonna just give me what you want.
And aside from, I mean, you know that those doctors that are over there at the jail, they actually rotate out from the mini university. You know that?
That being said, that has nothing to do with the medication I'm getting. That's not correct.
I've heard what you said with the medication. I'm asking you a simple question. Since you've interacted with these doctors, do you know that they just rotate out from mini university?
I do now.
Okay. But so it's not like they're any different than the doctors you get if you went to the emergency room at university.
Exactly, Kim, and Wyoming. Yeah. Poor Ramon. Yeah. He really is not smart at all. Not at all.
I'm not going to the emergency room. I'm dealing with one doctor that I've been dealing with for quite a while.
So, but that's who's taking care of you. And you said you fell. Did you go to the infirmary at that time?
Yes, sir.
Is that the only time you've been at the infirmary since you've been in the jail?
When they've been sending somebody to check on me, I went, I think, another 2 times. But I have made sick calls. They don't go nowhere. They just tell me, okay, still sitting in the cell.
But you're not in the infirmary unit right now. That's the jail.
No, sir.
You're in the regular unit.
No, sir.
And
well, I wouldn't call it regular. There's nothing regular about it, but yes, sir.
Do you think you're the only inmate at the Bexar County Jail that has issues with diabetes, high blood pressure, and cholesterol?
No, sir. I know for a fact that I'm not.
Probably something they know how to deal with over there pretty well at this point.
I would tend to disagree with you, sir. Maybe not in my case. Because if you switch to me and you're the one laying on the floor at 3 o'clock in the morning, can't breathe, with your sugar low, sweating, you would think twice right away. You would reverse that, what you just told me. If you were sitting there with holding the back of your head, thinking your eyes are gonna pop in your head, you're gonna have an aneurysm.
Oh, now he's got aneurysms. That's what I'm looking at the Arby's menu right now. Yeah. Now aneurysms. Oh my gosh, Ramon. You poor, delicate, frail little thing. Aneurysms. Gosh.
You would change your mind.
If what happened to you when you were in the free roll, you would have gone to university, right?
If that would have happened to me, then I would have talked to Dr. Wayne and would have settled it. But no, he's been taking care of me. I have not had that problem. I have not been holding my head. I have not been thrown on the floor at 3 o'clock in the morning. Or they're just looking at me like, what's going on with me?
Would it satisfy you if Dr. Wynn just talked to your doctors over at the jail about your situation?
It would satisfy me to get the medication I need.
But then I'm still not getting out. But. Did you see his face as soon as he said, what if we just have your doctor talk to, that's what I was looking at, Kim. I was like, And they have some peach pie things. So I believe that's what I'm going to get. Driver, did you hear that? A beef and cheddar with curly fries. And some of the peach pie roll-up things. But did you see his face? When he was like, why don't we just have your doctor talk? Would that be all right? Well, if I can get my medications. Like, that's not what I wanted to hear. Are they good, Wyoming? Oh, good. Okay.
I'll pass the word to Sharon.
You can step down, sir.
My son has a little nightgown just like that. Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. I appreciate it.
What did he say?
Just like
You can step down, sir.
my son has a little nightgown, just like that. Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. I appreciate it.
A little nightgown? Don't fall and bump your head, Ramon. Can't have you getting an aneurysm again.
Defense, any other witnesses?
No, you're
10 fake
References
diagnosed
done? Yes.
aneurysms.
Stay.
All right.
State calls Ryan Rodriguez.
Okay, here is. Oh, and this, this is motion to reduce bond denied for a second suspect in Savannah Soto and Matthew Guerra shootings. Oh. This is from a year ago. Okay. So what I am going to do is, yeah, do you need a snack in between the witness stand and your seat, Ramon? Don't want to get lightheaded or sweaty. Poor Ramon. I mean, because Ramon's the real victim here, right? Unbelievable. So, okay, I'm going to run, put little guy to bed. I'm going to be listening on my phone because I didn't get to see this either, and I do not want to miss this. Exactly. Here's the little Capri Sun. Some goldfish crackers. You'll be all right. All right. I will be right back. He's usually really good about going to bed, so. No, I probably just totally jinxed myself. I will be back.
John Kunis and Mr. Preciado.
See, Mr. Preciado is seated and present in the courtroom. This is a referral.
But I will be in chat. I'll have my phone with my chat. So if you guys need anything or have any questions, yeah, just feel free to ask me. And if I don't see them right away, it's because I'm trying to get a little person in footy pajamas. But I will try to answer it. And then I'll be back.
From the 290th District Court on motions to reduce bond filed by defense. So defense, these are your motions. Go right ahead.
Thank you, Judge. I'll go ahead and call.
I definitely will, driver. He's been full of hugs and kisses today. So.
Client as a witness.
Okay. Have you come up here and take the stand?
Hi, Monica. Yeah, I recognize you from chat. How you doing, girl? Thanks for coming in. I am playing a bond hearing of a case that we've been following, and I'm going to run upstairs, and I got to get my little guy all PJ'd up and teeth brushed and in bed, and he's already had his bath, so we're cool there. And then I will be right back to finish watching this with you. But I am on my phone, so I've got myself in chat. Because I want to hear this, because this guy, we just got done watching an hour full of excuses from a man who helped his son clean up a crime scene where the son killed a young man and his fiancée who was 9.5 months pregnant a couple days before Christmas. So, yeah. And the son just went through his capital murder trial the other day and was found guilty. And so now the parents are both charged. I've got to find out. This case is from 2 years ago, and I had not seen or heard anything about it until about a week ago. And yeah, all of a sudden the son's trial popped up. So I'm going to try and do some digging and find out exactly what mom and dad are charged with, and But this is Ramone Preciado. It's the father that helped him clean up the truck or helped him clean up the car in the scene. This is his second attempt at getting his bond lowered and getting out. And we just listened to an hour of him crying about how he is diabetic and oh, that's right. I forgot about that. He talked about that car in the last hour that we were watching of his first bond hearing. Yeah. So, all right, I will be right back. I'm going to mute this too, just in case there's any. I have to let the dog out too, and she's a blue tick hound, and so she's a little loud. So, all right, I will be right back.
Mr. Preciado, please, your right hand, please. You solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. You can put your hand down. Make sure to speak up, speak slowly and into the microphone. Make sure not to speak over either attorneys during the questioning. The court reporter can only take down one person speaking at a time. And with that, defense, your witness.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Preciado, you mind if I call you Ramon?
Yes, sir.
Ramon, how long have you been in custody now?
More than 6 months.
And you had some health problems while you've been in custody, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Including last month in May, you were hospitalized for 5 or 6 days, is that correct?
Yes, sir. My heart was given out in kidneys due to over medication and wrong medication.
So at the jail, they were giving you the wrong medication and you were over medicated?
That's correct, sir.
Do you recall the names of those medications that they gave you?
Lasartic mixed with something else. I don't remember. Right on.
And to get taken from the jail to the hospital means that you must have been exhibiting some pretty severe symptoms.
My potassium was 2.5, 2.6. So it's pretty serious. It makes your EKG, it throws your heart off rhythm. So it makes your beats way off. When they say EKG, then you can see your heart could explode type.
Was that a very scary situation for you?
Well, you know.
Now, that you got out of the hospital, I think on May 5th and came back to the jail, is that correct?
That's correct.
It hasn't been smooth sailing since then, has it?
They're kind of experimenting with the medication again. She kind of had it a little bit there and then started getting off whack again.
How do you
Still shaky with them. She got me up to 100 milligrams now. You know, and she said the doctor gave me 50, she's up to 100.
Who is she?
The nurse practitioner.
So it has you at 100 milligrams of losartan?
When I got out, I was at 50. She got me at 100. So, and then she added losartan, 5 milligrams. So she added an extra pill on top of what I'm taking already.
So the nurse practitioner is giving you 100 milligrams when in reality the doctor at the hospital, an actual medical doctor, recommended 50.
You know, I was doing fine with the 50, no shakes, no nothing, I was doing all right.
So let's talk about how you feel right now. You seem a little weak. Are you shaking? And it's not just from nerves, right?
Well, it's always a little nervous, but you know, it's not just the nerves.
You seem a little weak today.
Not myself. You know what I do for a living? I have a lot of strength in my hands. But not lately.
Because of the medications, you think?
That's one of the good reasons. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Now, more recently, just last week, you got bitten by a spider or something?
Yes, I got bit. No medical, they wouldn't give me a medical attention. I made 3, 4, pleaded with them. I even told the guards and a couple of guards tried to help me, but nothing ever happened. Finally, one of the pharmacists, you know, it's kind of nice thing. She did all she could. She called down there, made a big stink about it. Finally, they got me on Sunday afternoon.
So you were bitten by this spider a week ago on Sunday, meaning on the 9th probably?
Yes, sir.
And you didn't receive treatment until yesterday?
I put in a sick call right away because we have found the family in the medical industry, and I know what a bite looks like right away. So it went from a bug bite to an infection to a staph infection. So she only cut it open. You could tell you if you want it open. I mean, you know.
Ramon, let me stop you for 1 minute. You said that it's been diagnosed as a staph infection now?
So she told me, let's do it. That's a staph infection. She's back now.
And did they put you on any medication?
She gave me antibiotics and some kind of painkiller or something.
And that was yesterday after a week of this bite getting worse and festering?
That's correct. I did my medication until last night.
Ramon, we've had another bond reduction hearing on you a few months ago. Do you remember that? When we came to court, trying to get your bond reduced? and the bond was cut down a little bit. In the meantime, has anything changed in your family dynamic in terms of the amount of money that you have available to get you out of jail? Have you won the lottery?
No, sir.
Did the Publishers Clearinghouse come in finally?
Not even close.
All right, so your financial position is actually probably even more dire than it was a few months ago, is that correct?
I'm the one who makes the money, so no me, no money.
And your wife is locked up and your son is locked up?
My whole family's been there.
So nothing has changed with regard to your financial situation that would suddenly allow you to be able to make these bonds that total several $100,000, is that correct?
That's correct. It's got worse.
Ramon, do you have a physician on the outside?
Dr. Wynn.
Dr. Wynn, and he's been your physician for some time, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you concerned with the continuing health struggles that you're having at the jail?
I'm very concerned. I mean, having your heart offbeat like that, I mean, if anybody knows anything about medical, they'll scare, pretty bad offbeat. He can be going crazy, very scary stuff. Our kidneys not working like they should. It's very frightening stuff, even for a strong guy, big guy.
Now, does it also concern you that when you went to the hospital last month, they gave you a prescription at a certain milligrams and levels of things, and now a nurse practitioner has doubled it?
Definitely. I told her I can't take metformin. She goes, well, he gave it to you. She goes, well, he was giving insulin. He just said that you said that metformin, but I said, I cannot take that because I've had previous issues with that.
And let's remind the judge about the pre-existing medical conditions you had before you were arrested. What diagnoses did you have at that point?
I was diabetic, I had blood pressure, because the struggle was being high.
And were you already being treated for those conditions?
Yes, I was doing good. All the weight was good. I lost so much weight now, I don't even know what's going on.
And again, no one in your family or in your close friends or anything is able to make these bonds at this time, is that correct?
That's correct.
Would someone on the outside be able to make a bond if, say, the $350,000 one went down to $40,000 or $50,000?
I think so, yes, sir.
And the $100,000 bond, if it went down to, say, $10,000, do you think someone could get you out? Is that what you're asking the judge to do?
Yes, sir, I am.
Yeah. I'll pass the witness.
State your witness.
Mr. Preciado,
Yes, sir.
just to be clear, when were you hospitalized at the hospital?
I don't have a date in front of me. It was like a month ago.
So would it surprise you to know the records reflected in the first week of May?
It was a week, as I tell you.
And what was it that caused them to take you to the hospital?
Potassium, 2.6, 2.5.
And,
Overall, over a 2-week period, which is very dangerous, as you would know.
and so prior to that, you've been having some issues like cold symptoms.
Prior to that, I was sick for a whole month, and again, no medical treatment. I didn't get an aspirin. Finally, they gave me something, and it sounded like I can't be taking Tylenol like that. It is, I don't take. I have to take no pills at all. I don't like pills in my system. Unless I have to.
But when you say you were sick for a month, that you were dealing with like cold-like symptoms?
Flu-like symptoms, yes, sir.
What kind of symptoms were you having?
Headaches, fever, coughing,
You have runny nose?
runny nose, congestion.
And at some point they treated you with Tylenol.
That's correct.
With those, correct?
No, sir. I didn't just have a headache. There was other things going on. You know what I mean? And when you're taking other medicine, you shouldn't take Tylenol. It damages your liver, especially if you're already on blood pressure. Sorry, what are you gonna say?
Okay.
Or if you're taking other medication, they've told me before not to take Tylenol if you're taking other stuff with it, especially blood pressure, sugar medicine, whatever you're taking with it. And the nurse practitioner gave me a list of medicines that I wasn't sure what I was taking. So that made me even more nervous. I think it would make you nervous too. You're taking a bunch of medicine. You seem like you're a lot sharper than I am. So if I would know more than I would, but I don't have that privilege of knowing exactly what she write down for me. But I am writing it down now.
So when you're going to the medical unit over at the jail, that is a unit that is operated by the University Health System.
Yes, sir, it is.
And at some point, you were seen there due to local testing. You testified earlier.
Yes, sir.
How did you present yourself how did you end up in the medical unit with that?
How did I end up?
How did they end up taking you down to the medical?
I pleaded with the lady to give me blood work. I was feeling weird. I was going to pass out. Couldn't see right. I had several falls. Kept telling her something's going on. And finally, I thought, hey, I got people in the medical field. I'm going to, they know people. They're going to start calling around. They're going to find out that you're not helping me. You have to do some kind of blood work. You can't just look at a card and say, oh, And just gone, no, you gotta take you over. Excuse me?
Did they do the blood work?
I begged her, but yeah, she finally did the blood work, and she saw what it was, and she rushed me down to get EKG as soon as that happened.
So when your blood work came back, that you had low potassium, did the jail attempt to treat that in the medical unit?
She attempted to give me some pills, so she gave me potassium or something, and again increased my medication.
So they attempted to address the issue with potassium by giving you supplemental potassium.
I would say I was true, yes, sir.
And how long did you take the supplemental potassium before you went to the main university hospital?
She did blood work like 7 to 9 times over a 2-day period, 3-day period. She had me there from morning to afternoon taking blood.
What period was that?
I don't know, 2 to 3 days.
They took your blood 7 to 9 times in 2 days.
Yes, sir, they did. Yes, sir, they did. I have a mark to show you. And then she told me that potassium's still dropping. She was like, it's not having an effect. She was in, when you give me EKG now, she gave me EKG.
And at that point, is that when you were transferred over to the main university hospital?
I think that afternoon I was. I did blood one more time.
So that sounds like the jail medical unit was pretty attentive to what was going on with you at that point. That'd be a fair assessment?
Oh, I didn't think she wasn't. She was looking out for me then, but she was already in a panic. It's like you set the house on fire, and now she's panicking. Of course, because she had me laying there in the stretcher.
Because they took your blood multiple times, up to 9 times in a 3-day period.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, and I gave her a cause for that. She did.
And then once you were over at university, you did some tests while you were there, correct?
That's correct.
Did you do an EKG while you were over at the university hospital?
At the hospital, at the medical center? Yes, sir.
Do you remember what the results were from that?
No, so they don't give me the results.
The doctor didn't talk to you about it?
They'll talk to me, but they don't give you a lot of results. Again, I don't know what kind of contract you have with them. They don't give me a lot of information. Just that we're going to do this next. We're going to do this next. Okay. But most likely it's something like, you're fine for now.
And when I say they take you over to the main hospital at university, that is not at the jail, correct? Okay, it's over the medical center, and it's in the main university hospital complex.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the doctors that you're dealing with over there are the same doctors that regular people walking off the street dealing with at the university.
It's not my doctor, but yes, it is the same doctor you would deal with.
And your doctor, Dr. Nguyen, does work for University Hospital, correct?
That's correct.
Does he work over there in that same complex?
I'm sure he works in there somewhere. Yeah. Yes, sir.
And those doctors that were treating you over there at the hospital, they have the ability to consult with him and communicate with him about you as well, right?
I sure hope so.
And so after your EKG, you didn't remember, the doctor gave you specific results of the EKG?
Well, they gave me like 7 of them, so I didn't really keep track, after that.
What, in your mind, what was the result of your EKG, if you know?
I was a little confused. They would send me to a stress test, and they would give me a sonar on my heart and my kidneys. It's kind of frightening stuff. And the doctor walks in and tells you, we need to do a sonogram of your heart now. I need to do a stress test. This makes serious. You could actually walk out of here.
Well,
it's scary stuff. And then they tell you the same thing about your kidneys. Due to some medication, it just, you see the same thing happen over and over again. And it's happening to me again right now. She's up to 100 a sergeant. And I'm not saying it's your fault. It is what it is. She's learning. I give her that. But man, I hate that she's learning about me. You know what I mean? Well, it's real scary stuff.
I know, sir. My question to you was, what was the result of your EKG?
Which one?
The one that you had over at the main hospital.
They gave me about 7 of them.
Okay, what did they tell you about the results of the EKG?
I just told you, sir. They told me I need a heart test, stress test, and a sonogram for my heart. Like you would do it on a one, but for the heart. And that's the first one they rushed over to do.
So, would it surprise you to know that according to your medical records, the result of your EKG that you had over there at the hospital was overall that things were normal?
Thank God.
That would surprise you.
I didn't say it would surprise me. I'm just thank God that I'm okay. I thought maybe she was going to kill me. I hear what you're telling me, and I understand what you're telling me. And I'm glad to hear it. But that's neither here nor there. If somebody's giving you medication that's bad for you, it's going to keep happening to you over and over again. It doesn't matter if the battery's good now. If you keep running the car, the way it is, it's going to run out of juice. So you're going to kill the battery. You know what I mean?
So it wouldn't surprise you to know that your EKG results indicated that your right atrium was normal in size. Did that surprise you?
I had not heard of it.
Have you heard that they say that your right ventricle is normal in size?
He said that he found everything on the stress test to be good.
Okay. Well, I'm going to the stress test. I'm just talking about the EKG.
They didn't really, they didn't really go over to that with me too much. They don't go over little stuff like that for me. They want the big results.
So it's not surprising to you that these things they look for are all normal in size and that your systolic function was normal as well.
just happy to hear it.
So then you did the stress test. And can you tell us what that entailed?
Medication, computer, to run medication to my veins, to see where I was. At the same time, you're running EKG to the system to let me know exactly where my heart is. It's pumping what it should. They put you in a like mode, like if you're exercising, like if you're going, like if you're out of breath.
All right, so they kind of put some, like you can do some exercise and see how your heart reacts to that.
It's a chemical based, same effect.
They inject a chemical into they can monitor that on the screen.
Well, again, the guardian gave me medication the last 2 days, so when I went, my blood pressure was high. So when I said that to him, he said, well, you gotta go get it from him. I said, well, I can't give me if he doesn't have it. Only the pharmacy gives it to you. And if he doesn't call me, there's no way of me knowing.
So do you, after doing the stress test, how did that go for you?
The stress test?
Did you react to it in any adverse way?
It felt like your whole body's like kind of like lifting, like kind of pushing out. Weird feeling, never felt that before this. I don't know, I just never had one done on thing.
They were monitoring you during that whole time, during that test, right?
Yeah, a little shaky though.
You didn't pass out or anything?
Just really shaky, like my knees were buckling when I stood up. So I guess anybody would, you just test like that.
Did you have any chest pain while you were doing that test?
It wasn't a little chest thing, just was when I went like that. She got worried.
So when you were done with it, did they at some point go over the results of the stress test with you?
No.
Okay. The doctor came in and talked to you and told you what happened?
No.
So I guess I'll go over with you. Would you be surprised to know that the 5 conclusions that were reached with the stress test were, number 1, that your stress was judged to be adequate?
Am I surprised? Is that what he said?
I mean, given what you went through with the stress test, are you surprised that?
I'm relieved I'm here. You really know, I'm just happy I'm here. I thought I was gonna make it out of that hospital.
So does that surprise you that to hear that that was the conclusion?
I'm surprised I'm here.
Does it surprise you to know that the resting hypertension was normal blood pressure in response to the stress test?
The nurse practitioner kind of went over it. No, she kind of went over it. If that's what you're asking me. She kind of went over it. She didn't give me the results. She just said,
well, okay, but I'm just asking you, I'm going over it and with your records and just asking if that surprises you that they concluded that.
you define surprises me. What do you mean surprises me? What are you trying to tell me?
Well, do you find issue with this? What they've concluded in this with these stress test results?
I don't have an issue with the test. If that's what the test says, I'm happy. I'm more than happy. I'm thanking God every day that I'm here.
Does it surprise you to know that they noted that you had your chest pain during that stress test?
No, I didn't have chest pains.
That surprised you to know that they concluded you had a normal resting EKG?
Am I surprised?
Right.
Again, I'm just happy.
So again, they're concluding that what they're seeing is normal.
That's what you said. I said I wasn't normal before that. You got to remember this. 3 weeks later, a month later, you're reading results. You're saying that when I took the test, but you got to remember there's time elapsed between. You know, if you put air back in the tire, then the air in the tire is back good again. You understand what I'm telling you? Does that make sense?
But that's what they do the stress test, is they want to see how your body reacts to a lot of stress, right? Specifically how your heart reacts to that.
But I was back on the medication I needed to take also. So that would go back to what we're saying. I'm back on the medication I was taking, then I'm good again. But if you start experimenting, throwing me high doses, that's when I have an issue. I'll be okay if you just give me where I'm at. But they keep throwing me different medications, and that's what's hurting me. That's what's messing up with my nerve. That's what's making my kidney go crazy. That's what's making my heart off rhythm, because they're giving me, not you personally, but the nurse practitioner. I know she's learning to understand that. Everybody has to learn, but she's throwing my heart off. I mean, that's scary. If that was happening to you, you'd be madder and madder. There's nothing I can do about it, but y'all can. You know what I mean? And I'm sitting on this side of it. So the only thing I can do is tell you what happened to me in my story, and tell you every time I get that medication, it starts having that effect on me. That's all I'm saying.
But the stress test they did it shortly after you went over to the main hospital, right?
1, 2, 3 weeks later, I think. What's the date on there? I mean, I don't have it in front of me, but it wasn't right away. It was after I left the hospital. I must have been 3 weeks later. After I was already on the regular medication that I was supposed to be on.
What about your EKG? When did they do the EKG?
They should have done that day.
When you went to the main hospital?
When I went into the main hospital, it was a different time. They did several EKGs, maybe 7 of them.
And we went over those earlier about the results.
Yes, sir.
Everything was normal.
That's correct, yes, sir.
And so if there's an issue with the medication, it would show up at that point in the EKG.
That's interesting. I only can tell you what the medication they gave me, how it has an effect on me. I can't tell you why they did this on this day or this date. I can only tell you the effect it has on me when I start taking it long term. It might not do it from one day to another, but it will do it. That's how the medication works. It takes more than a day for it to have effect. So if I'm on a vacation for 2 or 3 weeks, that's not feeling normal, and then you change it on me, well, of course, there's something's gonna happen.
And
that's all I'm saying, sir. That's all I'm saying.
What changes were made to your medication while you were admitted over there at University Hospital?
I was an incident, first of all, instead of metformin. That was the first thing. The medication was a lot lower lower than I was taking. I can't tell you exactly, that's not my line of work. But I was great, came out stronger than ever. I was happy. I was actually saying prayers for y'all guys, believe it or not. Thank you, God, I'm okay. And then all of a sudden, here I go again, same symptoms, starting all over again with different medication. With the metformin, I can tell you, I'm allergic to. It's having an effect on me.
And so since you got back to the jail, they've been, aside from the sergeant you testified earlier, they've been complying with what had been changed over at the main hospital?
As far as I know, yes, sir.
And you also mentioned the spider bite that you have on your arm. Is it common to go to medical if you receive an insect bite?
They're supposed to take you. I mean, they should take you right away, but they didn't. I filled up notes. The first one I put the medical attention, bug bite. The second one I put, again, bite, getting warm around, possible infection. Second notice, please advise, I need medical attention. Third attempt, please, I need medical attention. It's like a ball. Please, I need help. Very, very warm, hot to the touch, possibly staph infection. And she gets into the ball, staph infection.
So at that point, you were seen by the medical unit for that?
7 days in, Sunday night.
Did they tell you that it was an insect bite that caused that?
Her exact words were, insect bite turn staph infection.
That's a possibility.
She didn't say possibility.
But this isn't the first time that you dealt with these cysts with infections on it, right?
No, I had one on my leg.
Right, and that one was dealt with when you were over at University Hospital, right?
That was dealt with also at the jail and at the university. Yes, sir.
And the doctor spoke with you about how to prevent that, correct? When you were at the hospital?
Yes, sir, you did prevent it. You can't prevent a bite. You get bite, you get bit. That's the way. Just like a mosquito bite, just the way you can't prevent it. I could put all the off I want, you might still get bit.
Well, I know, but we're assuming that you had some sort of insect bite that caused this latest infection, right? We don't know for sure what happened or what caused that.
Well, it's pretty much secret, so it's a bite. However you look at it. A bite's a bite. I mean, you can't deny a bite. I didn't do it to myself, and I didn't put a bug up on me, you know what I mean? It bit me, so I don't know how it bit me. And believe me, don't think I want to get bit. Nobody wants to get bit.
No, of course not. But what we're trying to say is, you're kind of assuming that that's what caused it. It could have been similar to the earlier one you had.
I'm gonna check the pulse for circulation.
One on my leg and one way up here. Sorry.
I'm gonna say.
And Mr. Preciado, tell us about the one you had on your leg.
I had one on my leg. I don't know, one day it was there. You know what I mean? I didn't feel no bite on that one. Just one day I had something on my leg. I reported it. They said, don't worry about it. I'll be all right. I'll go away. Didn't go away. Got bigger and bigger.
And that's something that eventually you depressed, or was it?
No, it was like huge. It burst by itself. I was taking a shower with it and it burst by itself. Now, I said I wanted, to get it wrapped up. It could be staph infection. It turned into something. And the exact words were, you'll be okay. Make a sick note.
And when you talked to the doctor about it, what did he tell you in terms of how to prevent this?
I talked to the doctor. I talked to an RN, and she gave me antibiotics.
They didn't talk to you about hygiene and how to prevent that?
Are you talking about the University Hospital?
Yes.
Yes, sir. She said scrub myself, and I scrub myself very good. One of the things people you want to meet, really that, especially where I'm at, I don't want to get bit by nothing. I don't think anybody wants to get bit. And to have things, it feels like, you know what it feels like? It feels like somebody lit a cigarette and it's in there burning. Now, who wants to feel that? Believe me, there ain't nothing being done on purpose. There ain't nobody gonna put nothing on the side of their leg to get a bite. You know what I mean? It's there, it's out there, right there, bit. And you go into anybody's cell, mine's one of the cleanest ones you've ever given me. But if you, for a second, turn off the light, you see the bugs come out everywhere. You know how it is. I'm sure you've got a lot of complaints. The bugs just come out there, you see them coming out. And that's not saying anything new. That's not saying anything bad. Everybody knows what it is.
Okay. You testified that in terms of your financial situation that it has become more dire since our last bond hearing a few months ago. Is that correct?
Sir, I've been sitting in jail, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Are you aware of any efforts that have been made to liquidate your home?
Still sitting there. Sorry, sorry.
Well, I'm asking if you're aware of any efforts that have been made to sell it.
If you try to sell it, but again, y'all got bullseyes on me. Nothing will move, they won't touch it. it's one of those deals. Some guys say they're gonna shoot me in the face if they go near the house. Who's gonna go near the house?
What efforts have made to sell the house?
I don't know. My sister's trying to deal with that.
Is it listed on the market?
I think she has, yes, sir.
And do you know what the house is worth, approximately?
There's all kinds of numbers been thrown out there.
What kind of numbers?
I think she wanted like maybe 350 for it. But here's the thing: you're doing your math, and you can get all this. You can forgive you owe for the house. So don't forget about that.
That was my next question. I'm not gonna forget.
I know, but we owe for the house.
It's just something we have to establish for the record. And how much is owed on the house?
200, 150, 180.
So potentially you have $200,000 worth of equity in the home if it were to sell.
You forget taxes. You forget you have to split with the child. You're forgetting a lot of things. You make it seem like, oh, you're going to just keep $200. That's not going to work like that. You know, everybody says, oh, you're going to keep it. No, you're not. You're not. She still has to split that with someone. She still has to put taxes on there. There's a lot involved. The realtor people, whoever they are, they're probably going to take a percentage too. Then there's a closing cost, and there's a lot involved with that. So to say, oh, yeah, you're going to keep it, I love the way you're doing the math, but that's not real life. Real life doesn't work like that. Real life, you'd be lucky if you get a percentage of that. And then their family's going to want their side of it. Then that's what we have left. If you do your math like that, you're going to find out what's left, and you're going to make the bottom number, and you're going to see that's real life. Because that's what real life, like people with us, deal with it every day. We don't have $500,000 homes. We don't have $2 million homes that we could sell and have that. We don't have that. And good, God bless the people that have it, but we don't have that right now.
I'm just talking about your home. No one else's.
I know, just letting you know.
Pass it, Sean.
Ramon, real quickly, let's kind of follow up and remind the judge what was testified to at the last hearing, which is your home is owned by your wife and several of her family members. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So you guys own a 1/4 share in it. Is that correct?
My wife does it, yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Your wife owns a 1/4 share in that house. So back to Mr. Stout's questioning in terms of if the house sells, even if there was a $200,000 profit, the share that would go to your wife would only be 1/4 of that. Is that correct?
That's correct.
One of the other problems that your family has had on the outside with regard to that house is kind of the negative attention that it's been getting. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Case 5 runs it all day. Second house. That's their story.
I'm going to ask you very simple questions. I don't need explanations right now, okay? One of the issues has been there's a neighbor across the street who has it on 24-hour loop video showing the front of your house. Is that correct?
That's right.
And people are making comments about it all over online. Is that correct?
That's correct.
People are making threats to you and your family. Is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
And apparently it's so out there in the world that anyone that's looking at that house immediately is informed of the significance of your house. And so that's driving the value down, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Down tragedy, nothing.
Now, the other thing I want to talk about just briefly is when you were taken from the jail to the University Hospital for evaluation and treatment on May 1st, the main reason you went there was because of the low potassium, right?
Yes, sir.
And the side effects.
That's correct.
And when you got to University Hospital, they confirmed that you had dangerously low potassium, right?
Yes, sir.
And in fact, in their own notes from May 1st, they mentioned that you had been in your usual state of health until about 3 weeks ago. At that time, you developed flu-like symptoms, which subsided after initiation of Mucinex and Tylenol. Then you had a follow-up with the jail provider last week, which would have been the last week of April, and you were noted to have hypokalemia. They gave you oral replenishment, but it failed, and multiple repeat labs showed you to be hypokalemic, right?
Yes, sir.
That's when they took you to the hospital.
That's correct.
And it's not like you walked into the hospital, they gave you some shots, and you walked right back out, right?
No, they were scared.
You were there.
We walked in, yes, sir.
You were there for, I think, 5 days, and they were in a ton of tests on you, right?
That's correct.
Ramon, in general terms, has your health gotten better or worse since you've been in custody?
A lot worse.
And whether the cyst on your leg was due to something you could have controlled or not, you still had it, right?
Yes, sir.
And now you have the staph infection on your arm.
That's correct.
You're asking the judge to lower the bond so that you can get out, so that you can try to not have your health continue to deteriorate. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Ramon, and just to remind the judge, you're from San Antonio, right?
Yes, sir.
All your family's here.
That's correct.
You don't have any intention of going anywhere or fleeing or anything like that?
My family's in Bear County. I got nowhere to go.
And if the judge was to lower your bond and you were able to get out, you will comply with any and all terms that he would consider. Is that correct?
That is correct, sir. Yes, sir.
I have nothing further. Thank you.
State, no questions. Step down, sir.
And that's it as far as witnesses from us, Judge.
So you rest at this time?
Yes, Judge.
State.
Sorry, I guess it's off the record.
Go ahead.
Give me 1 second.
Excuse me. Objection.
Great Wyoming? I thought, oh, what
No, yeah, stays off. Take exhibits 1 through 5. I'll see you next time.
oh, a Magnolia. Is that who you're thinking of, Monica? Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
States exhibits 1 through 5 are admitted for the purposes of this hearing.
And if, can we approach real quick? Sir.
I absolutely agree. I love my sons. If they ever took someone's life, then they'd have to answer for it, you know?
All right.
You may be seated.
I forgot the little band at the party.
Just give me 1 moment to review these records.
Well, I don't know if you heard earlier. I don't think you were in here yet. But what I'm going to do is I'll make a playlist of the stuff that had to do with this trial, and I'll put it so that you guys, and I'll try and find or I'll put them. I can put them on my community tab, and I can make a note on the timestamp of when we go over some of the trial stuff. And thank you. Thank you, Wyoming. You're such a sweetie. You guys all are. I feel very lucky. That's why I like hiding in here. Everybody's nice in here. Out in the YouTube streets, everybody's fighting and arguing. We can come in here and chill. Yes, I remember that. We were talking about that earlier. I loved that guy. Oh, thanks. I'm glad. I'm glad you guys are here. So when I started this, I thought I was just going to have like maybe my, like, you know, handful of friends. And we'd just be sitting here talking all of my beauty how-tos and talking true crime.
Any other evidence you'd like to present?
I got to meet all of you, and I am forever grateful for that.
Argument at this time.
Just briefly, Judge, I will direct you to Section 8 of each of the motions that I filed, in which I list what the typical bond amounts are for these levels of felonies. With regard to 2024 CR 4075B, this is a state jail level offense. As this court is well aware, these bonds are typically in the $2,500 to $10,000 range. As of right now, it is $100,000, which, as I pointed out, is between 10 and 40 times the amount of a normal bond, which is impressive. It is excessive as well. With regard to 2024 CR 4074B, the bonds for this level offense are typically in the $10,000 to $50,000 range. And as I point out also, as it currently sits at $350,000, that is between 7 and 35 times as high as a normal bond would be in the case. And Judge, I hate to say it, but I think we all know why the bonds are this high, and it's because of those cameras right there, because of the media attention that this case has gotten.
Oh.
If this case had not gotten this level of media attention, I think that the bonds would be at appropriate amounts. But unfortunately, because of a variety of reasons, there has been an amazing, incredible amount of media attention on this case, and it's been to his detriment. As you know, I'm court appointed on this case. I'm not retained to represent him. He does not have the money to afford a lawyer. He certainly doesn't have the money to afford the bonds at the levels that they're at right now. Based upon what you've heard today and also at the hearing a few months ago, we would request that you do lower these bonds, and we would request that they be lowered to something more appropriate for the level of these offenses. I've requested $25,000 on 7.4B and $10,000 on the other one. If the court is not inclined to go that low, my client would also appreciate any sort of reduction, but clearly the amounts in the hundreds of thousands of dollars for what are, one of them is a very low level offense, and the other is a mid-level offense. It seems excessive and oppressive because it's intended to keep them in jail and not allow him to be released ever. And as you've heard today, Judge, given the health problems that he has, and you can just take a look at him, he's lost a bunch of weight. He doesn't look well compared to the last setting that we had. And my fear, of course, is that he's going to continue to deteriorate and have further health problems in the jail that go untreated or delinquently treated. And so, based on all that you've heard today, please, Judge, we ask that you lower these bonds.
Thank you, Your Honor. And I would like to ask the court to take notice of the prior hearing evidence that was admitted in that hearing, also the court's record. And I think it is unusual to be coming back for another bite sample. The court's heard a lot of this evidence 2 months ago. And so I think I'd like to focus on what has changed in the last few months. And I defense for Mr. Preciado to talk about his health situation that has changed in the last few months. What's really changed in the last few months is that this case was indicted and his legal situation has become much more dire. When he was arrested, he was facing a state jail charge of abuse of courts, as well as a what was charged a second-degree tampering case. And since he's been indicted, he has been indicted with 5 different counts under that tampering statute, and 3 different counts of the abuse of court statute. In addition, he's been indicted as a repeat offender because he went to prison in the past, federal prison. And so the maximum that he's looking at in this case, on that tampering case, is from 5 to 99 years of life, and that did not exist in certainty when we had our last hearing. That's how he was indicted at this point. So now he's looking at from 5 to 99 years of life on that case. And I know that's an important factor that the case law instructs the court to consider in these situations. Specifically, the ex parte Rubach case, which is 6-1.
Did I hear that right? 99 years to life? Oh, Ramon, you better start making friends with those spiders.
One Southwest 2nd 848 is the seminal case from the Court of Criminal Appeals regarding these factors that are looked at in bond reduction hearings. And one of the main things that are looked at, one of the primary factors is the length of the possible sentence that he's looking at. And in this case, it's one of the highest that we get, that someone could serve his life in prison, essentially. In addition, the case makes it very clear that the defendant's ability to make bail is not controlling, but is only a factor that the court considers in making the determination. And also that any aggravating circumstances to be looked at. And the reason there's a lot of media attention is because there's aggravating circumstances in this case. Some of the most aggravating, and we believe it's 16. It's a triple capital murder. That's how it's indicted, that he was involved in. And so there's no surprise why it gets attention, but I think that that should weigh, that seriousness of that offense that he helped conceal and cover up should be instructed to the court as to what sort of bond is appropriate in this situation. And again, as I mentioned earlier, his criminal history is to be considered, and he has gone to federal prison in the past for a firearm-related offense, and that's something that the court needs to consider. But in terms of the health stuff that we talked about today, I don't know if I saw anything that was alarming to me. That there were times where people with conditions have low potassium. It sounds like the jail was diligent in testing him and addressing an issue and realizing and recognizing when they needed to escalate it to the main university hospital. That's what they did for him. They ran a bunch of tests on him. But at the end of the day, they found out that his tests were normal, and they addressed the low potassium and they gave him supplemental potassium while he was there and fixed that problem he was experiencing. That's something someone could experience on the outside. It's not something that's specific to his incarceration at the jail. So I think that from his own testimony, University Hospital, who runs the medical unit at the jail, has been diligent in addressing these issues and resolving them. Yeah, they're not going to take him to the medical every time you ask. They're not going to take him every time you get the spider bite or whatever, but if it is in his bond. We already had this long hearing a few months ago. All this evidence came out, as the court remembers, and the court studied that evidence and made a decision. I'm just not sure what has changed at this point that would justify and warrant us drastically reducing the bond as the defense is asking. The defense said these bonds are not typical. I would remind the court that the burden is completely on the defense in these types of hearings to establish the record in that regard. And although it is mentioned in his motion, that is not evidence that the court can consider. I would take issue with the allegation as well that this is 30 times the normal bond amount of whatever you said. I don't think that's correct, and that's not evidence before the court. That's an argument for defense counsel, which the case law is very clear in a bond hearing is not evidence to be considered by the court. So we'd ask that these bonds not be cut further. $150,000 was already shaved off these bonds a few months ago, only back in February. So I'm not sure what has changed that would justify drastically reducing them further. The state asks that both these motions be made.
Well, that's just it. These charges, I mean, you're not going to get a slap on the wrist.
Cause numbers 2024-CR4074B and 2024-CR4075B, and will be denying defense motions. I will also be sealing states exhibits 1 and 2. Say, did you want to withdraw states exhibits 3 through 5, or just want to keep them as part of the record?
I'll keep them as part of the record.
There will be so. Anything else from either side?
No.
Oh, poor Ramon.
Who are you engaging with in this video?
Ramon, well,
I think that's on the playlist. But yeah, I will do that tonight. I'll get all of those in a I'll get all of those on a playlist so you guys can watch the stuff. There's not a, that's the stuff, the thing that stinks. There's not a lot on it. So we've got, that's right, we've got his interrogation, we've got the body cam footage we have of the interview that this detective did with him. We have the detective that did the interrogation with him, and then we also have both prosecution and defense's closing arguments. So yeah, I'll put those all together and get them like in the right order. And then what I'll do is, like I said, I'll try and timestamp stuff if I can. And I'll put them on the community wall. I'll do that after I eat my Arby's. because my Arby's should be home. I could hear dog paws upstairs. So that probably means that, well, one of two things. There's either a deer in my front yard or driver's home with the Arby's. So, oh man, is he ever? He is such a baby. I mean, and you've never once heard an I'm sorry. You've never, nothing from them. And Christopher didn't testify, and they didn't call any witnesses for him. I mean, I think Doug hit it right at the nail on the head, is that they were just trying to get the D penalty off the table. And because I believe Texas has capital punishment. And so, yeah, I just believe that that's what they were trying to do. They knew he was going to go away because the defense in closing arguments, the defense made a lot of statements that were just absolutely untrue. And once you listen to the other videos and then you watch the closing arguments, I'm just warning you, you're going to get mad, because when we watched it in here the other day, we got mad. Oh man, was I mad. So yeah. Oh, I definitely will. I am starving. Like I said, I did not feel well last night, did me in, because nope, I am not, I don't stay up that late normally. At least I try not to, unless I get on here talking with you guys. And I normally don't, like, I drink maybe 2-3 times a year, 4 tops, and I don't drink. And I did not feel good this morning at all. I just sat there. I got up at everybody let me sleep till 10. I got up and I just, my little guy wanted to lay in his bed and watch cartoons. And I was like, you know what? He said he wasn't hungry yet. I'm like, that's cool. So I just sat in the chair in the living room with my coffee, just rocking, trying to get myself together. Okay. And then finally, around an hour later, around 11, he said he was hungry. So I made him breakfast. I made myself just a bagel with some peanut butter on it. And that was all I ate the whole day. So now now I'm feeling better and I'm starving. Oh, they do. And that's why I don't do it anymore. When I was younger, I never used to get one. Ever. I never got a hangover. But man, I hit 40 and whew, Marissa's down for the count today too. She was like, oh, I feel like junk. I'm like, yeah, we probably shouldn't have done that. But all the tea got spilled the first hour. So there was nothing really to do after that except just have a girls' night. So that was fun. And I needed a girls' night. I'm stuck in this house with all these boys. I'm telling you. So let me get all my stuff together. And I will click this on so nobody thinks this is what I look like today. I am frazzled, fuzzy hair, up in a bun. I was done. No makeup. I put a little bit of lip gloss on, so I wasn't all dry and gross. But other than that, and I brushed my teeth and I washed my face today. But that was all. That was all anybody's gonna get out of me today. So, oh, thank you so much, Wyoming. Oh, so now I'm gonna go get in my jammies again and wait for my Arby's and try to find something. We just started watching that. We're so behind on television shows, on series, and Jem Between had recommended that we watch Night Hunter. Is it Night Hunter? Night Agent. I'm sorry, Night Agent. And so we watched one episode the other day, and it was pretty good. So we might watch the rest of that. Or Well, and that's it. See, my kidneys are not the greatest either, so they've been hurting today too. And hey, I'm down with that. I'm good. How are you doing? I'm starving, waiting for my curly fries to come walking through the door, but other than that, I am good. Definitely good. And I don't know if I'm going to be live tomorrow or not. It just really depends on the day. If I do go live on Sundays, it's usually after like 10 o'clock. I'll just do like a quickie. And Morgan likes me to come on because then I can play one of my, usually what I'll do is we'll just do something chill, play one of my podcasts, and because it helps her go to sleep. So see, that's what I should have done today. I should have gone and gotten a Mountain Dew, because that always, I don't know what it is about Mountain Dew. I should have gotten Mountain Dew and tacos and just put hot sauce all over it. And it would have probably, that was my cure back in the day when I was, hi Stan, how you doing? Yeah, that was my cure back in the day when I was trying. My first house was right around the corner from a Taco Bell. And so that's what we would do. We would go in the morning. We lived right behind actually a, oh, I do. Oh, girl, do I. Yeah. And I got Gatorade in the fridge. That's what I should do too. I should get some Gatorade on ice and sip that. Yeah. Because, oh my gosh, I was moving so slow. And we had to go earlier to the grocery store because I had nothing in the house. I mean, we didn't have nothing, but nothing that anyone wanted to eat, of course. So I ran to the grocery store and I was just like a zombie walking through there. Oh man, I have not had a night like that in a long time. And driver's sitting in the other room just looking at me like, what are you doing? I told Marissa, I'm like, oh my gosh. Like he was not mad at me this morning. I thought he'd be mad at me because, oh my gosh, he had to work today. And so he was upstairs trying to go to sleep. And I'm down here in my office, just like, laughing and everything. And oh my gosh. That's what I got to go back into my doctor because she wants to put me on either Ozempic or Mounjaro because of my A1C. Oh, me too, Firewife. Me too. Oh, and Texas Roadhouse, they did on my birthday. They were like $5 Long Islands. And oh my gosh, they were so good. They were really good. And they were just made from the well choices, but they were really, really good. A little too good. But hey, Truth Warrior. Here, I'll stick around and talk for a few more minutes until my Arby's gets here because I'm starving. Does it? I was wondering. Thank you very much, Uncle James. Thank you. I'm trying to grow my channel, and I've been really lucky lately. I've been meeting a lot of cool people. I won't yet. He's not home yet. I was starving. All I had was a bagel with peanut butter on it at like 11 o'clock. And that was it. I was just trying not to die the rest of the day. Oh, I didn't think about that. I used to drink that when I was pregnant with my youngest because I get so sick. Oh, I'm sorry for your loss. Yeah. Beef and cheddar. Because that's what Kim said, beef and cheddar. And I'm like, oh yeah. I was like right on that on the menu too. And I think I've got upstairs. I'll have to check. I think it's like a honey ginger one, a tea. Oh, it's so good. It's either honey ginger or honey chamomile. I am 4'11", so definitely not that tall. Oh, it was. It was. I told Molly that you were like texting me like, oh, I can't comment. She was laughing. She thought it was funny. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah, no. Definitely not. I am vertically challenged. You know, like Harvey's sin. Oh yes, she has fun. The thing is that like you have to follow, because on our lives, like we go here, we go there, we go around there, we go over there, and then we start talking about this again, and it's just like a big. But see, I have ADHD, so it like works for me. I can follow her around the squirrel circus, Oh my gosh, yeah, you're tall too, yeah. My family is tall, is like average to tall. I don't know what happened to me. I don't know. I did not get. Well, also, my whole family is blonde hair, blue eyed, and then you have me. I'm dark haired, dark eyed. Oh my gosh. Oh, she is. She's a hoot. She is a hoot when she's not, whether she's drinking or not. Right. Well, see, I got to eat all that stuff now, so that when I get on it, then I can really get the right effects, right? Oh, me too. I'm the same way. I've always got a million things going on. And it's so funny. Poor driver. He like does not, he gets so stressed out with me. Yeah, exactly. I need it. It keeps your mind right, because you can follow it. Like, it's hard when I'm just sitting there watching somebody that like is like on one level, like straight story, because then I start thinking, what about this? What about that? I'm thinking we should. I mean, shoot. Well, the one thing that I always said though is it's cool because I can always go up to a really tall guy in the store and be like, "Can you help me? Poor little me. Help me get this down. Help me get that down." And my oldest is like, he's 16 and he's 5'9", 5'10", and now he's my handsome man that I can take to the grocery store with me to reach everything. When he was little, I trained him. I had to lift him up and like hold him up to get into like the back of the freezer, because no matter what it was that we needed, it was always on the top in the back, because that's the story of a short person's life. But yeah, so people look at me weird. I'm like, hey, I got what are you gonna do? I mean, if you need the waffles in the back, you gotta get it. Yeah, for real. You get a discount. Oh, I know what you mean. We are fluent in autocorrect in here, so we'll figure out what you're saying. Oh, and I don't know why, but it seems like everything we buy is on the top shelf. And driver works 6 days a week now, so I used to have the weekends where I could take him to the grocery store with me, and now that's out of them. So yeah, I have to wait for the 6, and then I have to have him. Mom, just always annoyed with me, but sorry, so sorry. Oh well, I figure he'll be all right. If that's the worst that ever happens to him, is he gets embarrassed by his short mother in the grocery store, then Oh, I've done that before too. I've gone and gotten tongs. I've gone and gotten a mop and like knocked stuff down. See, exactly. See, we can help you out too. Uncle James. That's what Driver Boy said. He's like, you don't know what it's like to have to try and reach. He's like, you don't know what it's like to have to bend over all the time. And I thought, and one of my good friends, she is really, really tall. And we used to laugh trying to get jeans, because here I am putting jeans on, and it's like I'm dragging him behind me, and she's putting jeans on and she's flooding, you know, and so neither of us could ever find that perfect pair of jeans. You too, Fleer. We do. Oh my gosh. I laughed so hard as my mom got older and started like shrinking a little bit too. And I'm like, I'm so gonna be her seat was like that far off the steering wheel, just like so she can see. They do. Oh my gosh, 7'2". I used to work with a girl, and she had a nephew who was really tall like that. He was over 7 foot, and his tennis shoes, they had to special order them. He wore size 17 shoe. I mean, but the thing is like, when you saw the shoes sitting like by the front door, like when he'd come over to visit, you see these giant tennis shoes, and it's like, oh my, like comical. But then when he'd put them on, I mean, his feet matched his body because he was so tall, you know? And yes, exactly. That's what my boys tell me they're going to do. They're going to put bricks on or blocks on the gas pedal. Oh, exactly. Like Driver, he's like 5'11", 6 foot, like right around there. And he's still, we've got a, you know, regular sized bed, but excuse me, his feet still hang off the end if he's like scooches down on his pillow. So I can't imagine being, but I was looking a while back before we got the bed that we have. I was looking for a new bed, and they do have some beds you can buy that are actually longer. So I thought that was interesting. I don't have any use for that, but my 5'2" mom used to drive a school bus and had to use a phone book to reach. Oh, I bet. One of the first cars that I learned to drive with was one of my buddies, Jeremy, and I cannot remember the name of the car, but it had a bench seat, and they put me up on phone books, and then they stuck pillows behind my back so that I could sit there because the seat would not go up far enough, and I'd drive because when I was in high school, I was the youngest out of everybody. And so I would be the driver and they would be all in the back seat, you know, plowed out. But yeah, same with me, Wyoming. Same with me. I know. We don't get more. It's so funny too. If you talk to kids now and you talk about a phone book, they're like, what are you talking about? That's what my cousins say. I'm an only child, but my cousins always used to say that, like, are you even ours? I'm like, I am. Yeah, good shit too. Yeah, definitely. Come on back. Have a good one, Uncle James. And welcome to our family. Oh my gosh, yes. We used to do that too. I had one of those in my room, one of those phones that it was clear and it had all the lights inside of it. I remember that. And me and my friends would sit on the bed and we'd just pick a random number, and these friends of mine, they were some older boys and they had taught us to do that. So we thought that was so cool, except for one night we went over to their house and they're like, all right, let's do this. So we're sitting in, his name was Tommy. We were sitting in Tommy's bedroom. There's like 6 of us, and he starts calling somebody, and he like puts the phone on speaker, and we were trying not to laugh, and guess who it was? It was my dad. He didn't even realize that it was my dad. My parents were divorced when I was younger. So my dad lived across town, and here he is pranking my dad. And I am over there trying not to laugh, but also freaking out because if he finds out it's us, he's going to take me out, you know? So, oh my gosh. We were such bad kids. My other friend that lived down the street, his older cousin lived across the street. And he was like 22, 23. So he was the guy that was always getting us, you know, drink and stuff like that. But we used to mess with them all the time. And he was sitting there with a girl one night at his house. And oh gosh, we were like 14 years old and just total jerks. So We got some fishing line and a fishing hook. And they were sitting there watching a movie. We could see him in the window, and he kept leaning over trying to kiss her and stuff. So anyway, we get fishing line and a fishing hook. We hooked the fishing hook on the metal part of the screen door real quiet. We snuck up there, and we tied a nut to it. And then we got the fishing line and strung it out across the yard and hid in some bushes off the side. And then we'd sit there when they were just about ready to kiss. We'd pull the fishing line and go tap, tap, tap on the door. And he'd hear it, and he'd get up and he'd go look outside, and he couldn't see anything. And we did that for like an hour until we got bored. And we finally went home, and oh my gosh, he called my friend's parents across the street the next morning. He's like, "Did you guys see anybody in the neighborhood last night?" He's like, "I don't know what it was. He kept hearing tapping on my door." Oh, we were such heathens. He's like, "The girl that was there," he's like, "we watched a movie and she went home because she was scared. She thought somebody was outside messing around." I'm like, aw. Block. Such a horrible kids. That's what happens when you grow up in the country and you don't have anything. It's like Marissa's always telling everybody I'm from Flint. Like, I'm from both. I'm from the country and the city. So I got a little bit of both in me. Oh, yes. Oh, we used to do that all the time too. Yep. All the time. And no fail, somebody would trip and fall down and get us caught every time. Oh my gosh. Oh, I am so, and knock on wood, I am so lucky. My teenager, I'm gonna brag for a minute. Okay, he is literally the best kid ever. He stays home. He doesn't go out partying. He doesn't do anything. I mean, now granted, he has Asperger's, so he's very much like Sheldon Cooper. But I'm so lucky because I know where he is every Saturday night. To my mother in heaven, I am so sorry that I did all of those horrible heathen things that I did. I mean, nothing too bad, like nothing that would get me, a record or anything like that. But, oh man, I must have driven her absolutely just crazy, just stressed beyond belief. And I'm lucky. I have a good boy that wants to sit home on Saturday nights, wants to either go to his dad's on Saturday nights, go to the movies, or play a game. So, and he's more into his computer stuff and his trains than he is girls. So another, I don't have to deal with any of it. So, all right. On that note, it is 11:05 and I am tired because, like I said, I went to bed at like 6:30, woke up at 10, and have had my little man just running me wild today. He's been good. He's just been, and like I said, we had to count to 100 before he went to bed, and I was like, oh, please don't fall asleep. Don't fall asleep. So I want to thank you guys all for coming in and watching this case with me. And I'm going to continue to try and keep Nancy Guthrie updates as we get them. We got this body found in Scottsdale. Like I said, that's like an hour and 45 minutes away. I mean, it's maybe, but I wouldn't count on it. But who knows? I've been wrong before, so we'll see. And I am going to do some more hunting on this Preciado case because, like I said, I had been searching everywhere, and that last bond video hearing hadn't popped up until today. So maybe as more people start searching and looking and getting interested in it again, because we all forgot, a lot of us forgot, maybe it'll start kicking out in the algorithm. And hopefully now with the parents, hopefully the news records. They can't do any live streaming from the courtroom, but they can record. And I thought they'd have more clips, but they just didn't. They didn't do a lot of clips except for those 3 big ones. So yeah, so like I said, I will eat and then I will get that playlist together for you guys and I will post it on my community tab. So whoever's interested can go check that out. And like I said, I'm iffy on tomorrow night. I make no promises. But if I do, and Morgan, if you watch this, I guess if all else fails, I can just play one of those podcasts so she can get sleepy. And I can sit here and get sleepy too. So, because I do those in my professional voice. It's not my regular like Friday night voice. So, all right, guys. And again, if you're just coming in, please hit that thumbs up for me. Hit the subscribe button for me and hit the notification bell and click all so that you know when we go live again. And I would love to have you guys all. Oh, okay, driver. I'd love to have you guys all back again for. I don't even know what we're gonna do. We just do everything, and I am trying to work on some members only content because I've got about 18 members, and I want to thank you. Thanks to Canvas and Crime for buying memberships, and I want to thank everybody that gave super stickers or super chat tonight. I think you guys are awesome. I totally didn't expect that, and I am just like beyond. Like I said, I thought this was just gonna be me and my friends hanging out, and it is me and my friends hanging out. But I got a lot more friends now. Let's see. But yeah, it's a good one tonight. I found two of the bond hearings of that Ramon Preciado. And oh, you're gonna want to watch these, Doug, and you're gonna be like rolling. Like, just, are you kidding me? It's just a big pity party for poor Ramon. And, you know, jail apparently is not like a luxury hotel. And so, yeah, it's quite interesting. So yeah. So, and thank you to anyone who is one of the new subscribers. I greatly appreciate you guys. You guys are helping me grow my channel. And so yeah, so working on members only content. We will have this other tea got spilled last week and we weren't able to do a website day. So I will be working in a website day, just introducing my products. And like I said, no pressure. I will talk to you whether you buy something from me or not. I have a website. I sell at other venues too. But this was part of the reason why I opened up a YouTube channel too, is to have one more little outlet just to get my stuff out there. And but I promise this is not going to be an infomercial because I cannot stand that. So yeah, so I'll just show you guys some stuff. And I also, the next time I go, I want to get some input from you guys because I am working on some new spring scents and some summer scents. And so I really want to know from you guys what kind of stuff that you like. So I will try and set up a poll sometime next week and we can give me a check mark and let me know. So all right, on that night, everybody have an awesome Saturday night. Rest, replenish tomorrow. Don't let anything that's going on this internet bug you, make you feel different about yourself, make you stay up, whatever. Just none of it's worth it. So all right, guys. Again, thank you. And I will see you guys later. Peace, love, and claws, y'all. Mwah. Bye-bye.